Roger Erickson out on the mound, ready to face the first Yankee batter of the day. And to bring you the first 3 innings of the play-by-play, here's Herb Garneal.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. We're just waiting to see if somebody's going to play this one on the protest.
Again?
We had that Friday night when Billy Martin, he was within his rights to protest because the mounds that they had near the dugout, the pitching mounds, now have been removed, but they were declared illegal around the 2 dugouts this year. That was something new put in the American League regulations, and the umpires have had conversations now with both Gene Mauch and with Billy Martin. And with pitcher Roger Erickson, whether this is, the umpires have been instructed, I know, to be a little more stringent, a little more careful this year as far as warning pitchers and managers if there have been any incidents where batters allegedly have been thrown at, so that possibly could have something to do with it. But we're just about set to start the ball game, and Mickey Rivers stepping in for New York, hitting .328 with 1 home run and 9 runs batted in. Roger Erickson, 2-2 on the year. Rivers, number 17, out of that deep crouch, giving you the small strike zone, but as we mentioned from time to time, he seldom gets a base on balls. Here's a swing and a miss at the first pitch, 1 strike. Glenn Borgmann behind the plate today. Larry Wolfe at third base, Smalley at short, Randall at second, Carew at first, Kusick, Ford, and Norwood in the outfield. The pitch bounced foul down behind Gene Michael, coaching at first for New York. 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Mickey Rivers. Dick Hauser coaching at third base. A little bit of a breeze blowing out towards right field. Lots of sunshine here this afternoon as we start the rubber game of the series. Twins have not won a series from the Yankees since 1971. Here's the pitch on the way. The fastball, he struck him out. Rivers goes down swinging on 3 pitches.
Midwest Federal and WCCO Radio have purchased the broadcast rights of Minnesota Twins baseball games for the pleasure and convenience of you, the listening audience. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction is permitted without the express authority of the Minnesota Twins, WCCO Radio, or Midwest Federal.
Boy, Roger just blew that one right in there. Rivers swung and missed, and here comes Roy White. Twitch hitting left fielder, hitting .182, but only .095. Left-handed, has 3 runs batted in. Pitch on the way to him, a swung on, drilled down towards the right field corner, hooking, and it is a fair ball. Ball bouncing off the barrier. White at second base as Norwood whips it back in. It's a stand-up double for White as he lined it down into the right field corner, a 2-base hit to give the Yankees a runner at second base. So 1 out, it'll bring up the catcher, Thurman Munson.
That's White's first extra base hit of the year. He'd been in quite a slump, hitting .095 from the left side and only .182 with his combined total this year.
As we mentioned, Joe, you and I both, that Roy over the years has been a sort of a model of consistency for New York, but he hasn't had a chance to play a whole lot this year. Now Munson, number 15, batting .254 with 4 runs batted in. Stocky right-handed batting catcher with White on second and 1 out. No score here in the top of the first inning.
Well, Thurman and I guess you might say the Yankee image up to their old tricks after the ball game yesterday.
Here's the pitch, and a swing and a foul, 0-1. What was that about the fan charging that Thurman?
One of his fraternity brothers, or a brother from the fraternity that Thurman belonged to when he was at Kent State, came here with one of those pledge paddles, wanted Thurman to autograph it, and he didn't want to. The kid persisted, and Thurman apparently grabbed him around the shirt collar.
1 strike, the count to Munson. Here's the set by Erickson. And the pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess that incident will be further investigated to find out exactly what did go on. Thurman claimed that the fan kept pestering him. He didn't want to sign any autographs.
Well, I think the heated words were exchanged after Thurman said something to the gal the fan was with.
Here's a bouncing ball towards the hole. Glove by Wolfe. Nice pickup by Larry. Throw to Carew, and they got him whole. White at second. Nice play. Boy, that looked like one of those radar jobs that was going to get through the hole, but Wolfe got over there, got in the webbing of his glove, and made the throw on to first base, and White, with the ball hit in front of him, stayed at second. 2 out now, and here's Reggie Jackson. Reggie batting .247 with 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in.
3 for 8 in the series, all singles.
There's a line drive, base hit up the middle. That's going to score Roy White. The ball is scooped up by Ford, and the Yankees lead 1-0 as Jackson singles sharply up the middle to score White. Jackson gets his 10th RBI of the season And the Yankees have a run across here in the top of the first inning. The batter now will be left-handed batting Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. Chambliss hitting at 265, has 8 runs batted in. Well, Erickson has faced 4 batters here in the first inning. Roger has taken care of 2 of them pretty well, 1 on strikes. The other 2 have hit the ball hard off him. There's a fastball strike on the outside corner to Chambliss, 0-1. The Twins move shortstop Roy Smalley way over towards second base with the left-handed batting Chambliss up and Carew holding with Jackson at first base. Fastball is down and away. So the count is even now at 1-1. The Yankees won, the Twins nothing in the top of the first inning. Now they set the pitch, swing, and they miss. The ball spinning out of the grasp of Glenn Borgmann, but he keeps it at the plate. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Twins will have the next couple of days off before heading eastward for the first time in the regular season. Boston, Baltimore, New York, and Chicago coming up on the next road swing, which will start at Fenway Park Wednesday night. Erickson steps off the mound. Rod Carew holding with Jackson. Throw over there by Erickson, and Jackson gets back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. A lot of managers like to have the base runner, especially if he's got pretty good speed, like Jackson, go in this situation. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out. They pitch out, but he wasn't going. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Twins had a hunch he might be going, but he wasn't running, and it's all even out of Chambliss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The outfield doesn't play Chambliss to pull the ball. He's big and strong, but he's the type of hitter who has a little bit of an inside-out swing. Will hit the ball to the opposite field a lot, and here's a foul backing out of play, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now to Chambliss. Erickson checking his sign with Glenn Borgmann. Jackson edging off first with 2 out. Here's a set by Roger, the pitch on the way, and it bounces away from Borgmann off to the right, and Jackson will go to second. A low pitch that Borgmann couldn't keep near him. The ball just kicked off him and went way over to the right, down at this side of the Twins dugouts. Charge Erickson with a wild pitch. So it's a 3-2 count now to Chambliss. Nettles, the on-deck batter. Reggie Jackson leading at second. 2 out, top of the first inning. Yankees ahead 1-0. Into the set goes Roger Erickson. His pitch on the way. Chambliss pokes the ball out into left field, and it is going to drop in front of Craig Kusick. Here comes Jackson to the plate, and the throw is not in time. The Yankees lead 2-0. Chambliss stays on first. Well, there was a case where Chambliss went to the opposite field, a looping liner that sank in front of Craig Kusick, who, by the way, is playing in left field. For the first time in a regular season game. He tried it a couple of times in spring training, but manager Gene Mock wanted to get all the right-handed bats he could in there today against Ron Guidry. So Chambliss now has his 9th RBI, and the Yankees have a 2-run inning. And Gene Mock going out to have a talk with Roger Erickson. While he does, we'll pause 30 seconds. This is the play-by-play broadcast of the Minnesota Twins.
Say, if you promise not to tell any of the Peaster Derby station guys, I'll reveal to you how Mr. Peaster gets him to keep the places so clean. I mean, you know, by nature, I don't think his men as being super sanitary types. But what Mr. Peaster does is he tells them that people drive in with kids who like to watch the pumps work, and that makes it family entertainment. So our act, meaning the place, has got to be clean. Or for the athletic types, he calls them as clean-up hitters. And that works pretty well. Peaster... It's a gas.
There's the ball to Graig Nettles. Batting .211. He's hit 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. Chambliss on first now with 2 out. The Yankees with a 2-run inning. Smalley playing just a little to the left of second for Nettles, and the fastball is in there for the strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Roger Erickson being roughed up a little bit here on the top of the first inning by the Yankees. Throws the fastball strike on the outside part of the plate to Nettles. Now it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The outfield plays Nettles as a pull hitter. Kusick way off the line out there in left field. Now the set by Erickson. The pitch on the way. It's outside. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Nettles, the number 6 batter. Jim Spencer, the designated hitter, hitting 7th today. Bucky Dent, the shortstop, 8th. And rookie second baseman Brian Doyle hitting 9th. Now the set and the pitch. There he goes. The swing and a miss, and Nettles goes down swinging. Chambliss was running, but Nettles struck out. The second strikeout for Erickson, but the Yankees come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. No Twins errors and 1 left. A half an inning. It's the Yankees 2 and the Twins nothing.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet.
Wet your lips, America, because Chevy's serving up a fresh new slice of apple pie. A tasty new mid-sized car called Malibu that's so right for so many people right now, you'd be inclined to believe it was designed by John Q. Public himself. It's got crisp, good look, a nice trim body, and even more headroom, more legroom, and more trunk room than last year's Malibu. It's a car that's going to get you grinning when you point it down the road. Now, I ask you, America, isn't that what you had in mind?
New size, quick size, mid-size Malibu, a fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet.
When it comes to value,
A fresh new slice of apple pie.
America comes to Chevrolet.
Called Chevy Malibu.
Juicy.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu. A fresh new...
Well, before the Twins bat in the bottom half of the first inning, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is where you hear the Minnesota Twins during the 1978 Major League season.
WHO Radio, Des Moines.
Another tough outing for Roger Erickson here at the mat as the Yankees picked up 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. And again, Herb, that wild pitch proved to be a big factor in the Yankees' second run. Had they been able to avoid the wild pitch, the Yankees would have been held to just 1 tally in the top half of the first. But as it was, Jackson moved down to second base in scoring position, and with 2 outs, Chambliss' single to left field scored him with the second run of the inning. So it's 2-0 Yankees as the Twins get set to stand in against the left-hander Ron Guidry here in the bottom half of the first inning.
That's right, Joe. And of course, you never know. Felt like Chambliss up there. Once Jackson got over to second, he just wanted to get the bat on the ball and punch it out into left field, and which he did, and scored Jackson. If he's still on first base, he might have taken a freer swing. Maybe we'd have gotten him out. So a lot of little things go on in a ball game sometimes that make a lot of difference as to whether you score or don't. Now the Twins have to play catch-up, and Roy Smalley, Rod Carew, and Danny Ford will be up here to face Ron Guidry. Young left-hander who can really fire the ball, has a good, hard, sinking fastball. Going back to last season, Guidry has not given up a home run in the last 98 in the third innings that he's pitched. That includes 68 and 2/3 last year. But almost 100 innings he's pitched now and not given up a home run the last 2 seasons. Smalley batting .274, 3 homers and 13 runs batted in. There's a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Munson behind the plate, Nettles at third, Dent at short, the rookie Brian Doyle at second, Chambliss at first, White, Rivers, and Jackson in the Yankee outfield. Guidry pumps and throws, and it is a little low for a ball, 1-1. Carew and Ford to follow. Carl Keel coaching at third, Tony Oliva at first. Infield back for the Yankees as Guidry delivers. Swing and a miss. That pitch running down and away from Roy Smalley, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last year, Guidry lost his first decision to the Twins 4-3, then came back to beat them 4-1 and 4-0. There's a swing and a miss. That sinker off the outside part of the plate got Roy Smalley. A strikeout for Guidry, 1 gone, and here's Rod Carew. Rod had his 11-game hitting streak clipped yesterday. He's still batting .350 on the year, 2 homers, 16 RBIs, and has a total of 36 base hits. Yesterday, Rod officially was 0 for 3. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up in the game yesterday, which helped the Twins to score their first run on an infield out later on by Danny Ford. He walks up as if he might drop the ball down, takes it for a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike now to Rod Carew. And the pitch on the way. And he bunts the ball foul behind the plate, so the count quickly goes to strike 2. 0-2 now to Rodney, who this afternoon is the only left-handed batter in the lineup against Ron Guidry. Smalley, of course, a switch hitter, and everybody else right-handed. 1 out and nobody on. First inning, the Yankees ahead 2-0. Guidry into the windup, and the Carew going to butt the ball again to the left of the mound. Guidry scoops it up, fires at the first base, and got him on a close play. A good play by Guidry as Carew on a 2-strike pitch Punted it between the mound and third, and a fine play by Guidry to nip him at first base. 2 down. It'll bring up Danny Ford. Danny, who leads the club in RBIs with 18. 7 of those in one game at Oakland, and he's hit 4 homers, batting at .314. 2 gone and nobody on. Ford against Ron Guidry. 27-year-old left-hander, native of Louisiana. 16-game winner last year for New York. Lost only 7. Here's the left-hander's pitch to Ford. Swing and a miss. Boy, he had a cut. Batting helmet flew off. 1 strike to count. Guidry had 176 strikeouts last year in 211 innings. His earned run average 2.8 last year. And the pitch on the way. Strike, a hummer on the outside corner, and it's 0-2 now to Danny Ford. Guidry amazes a lot of people with the velocity he gets on his pitches. He's 5'11". Probably doesn't weigh more than 158, maybe 160 pounds. Here's the left-hander with a pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, that pitch goes down, and Ford strikes out. So each pitcher had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning, but the Twins go in order, and after 1, New York 2 and the Twins nothing.
If you're a business person with a hectic schedule, Northwestern Bell has a reminder for you. You can conduct business at the speed of sound simply by using long distance. A long-distance phone call can replace time-consuming travel. Remember, nobody ever broke any sales records fighting traffic on a freeway. And while the phone can get you there quicker, it gets you there in better shape, too. When you arrive at your sales call on the phone, you're less hassled, totally relaxed. Maybe you spent a whole week preparing that new contract or proposal, and you haven't heard a thing for weeks. A long-distance phone call can make a great, gentle, yet effective reminder. So, whatever business you're in, the personal touch of a long-distance phone call can make your business run a whole lot smoother and a whole lot faster. Next time business gets hectic, get on the phone, because long distance is good business.
Two to nothing. The Yankees over the Twins after 1 inning of play. In the NBA, in the first game of the best-of-7 NBA Eastern Division Championships, it's the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Bullets all tied at 47 all. It's San Diego 2. The Phillies now 3 runs that they scored a paired in the bottom of the second inning, so the Phillies lead that game 3-2 after 2.5. San Francisco and Pittsburgh tied at 2 all with the Pirates batting in the bottom of the third. Sanguillen is homered for Pittsburgh.
Jim Spencer, the designated hitter, leading off, and the first pitch misses outside a ball. Spencer, left-handed batter, hitting .273, 3 homers and 4 ribbies. There's a high fly ball down the right field line. It's heading towards foul ground, and let's see, is it fair or foul? It's a foul ball. Right down the right field line, a high drive off the bat of Jim Spencer, foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Went foul. One ball and 1 strike. And Spencer tries to bunt down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, apparently they were trying to clear up something about the uniformity of the Twins' uniforms, because the Twins, as you know, generally wearing their red shoes this year, but Roger Erickson has on the black shoes, and that's what the discussion was about. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch inside that almost hit his bat. And he took a half swing, but they say no, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wonder about the Chicago White Sox. Going to have to start making them putting their shirt tails in or something.
Leave it to Billy Martin. He'll find something to yell about.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Jim Spencer. Erickson into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on a high fly ball back of second. Smalley backing up. So is Randall. Smalley calls him off, and Roy makes the catch, flips it to Bobby. So Spencer pops to short. Out in short center field to Roy Smalley. And here's number 20, Bucky Dent, the shortstop. Batting .254 with 5 runs batted in. Twins trail 2-0 here in the top of the second. Then a stocky little right-handed batter. Smalley shades him towards second, and Erickson throws the fastball low and away, ball one. A double by White, a wild pitch, single by Jackson, single by Chambliss helped them to score 2 runs in the first inning. There's a foul off the mask of Glenn Borgmann. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. Well, Joe, we did have something we haven't seen for a long time in yesterday's game, since last September the 4th.
No walks.
And both pitchers went the distance. Didn't have to go to the bullpen.
It was also the fastest game of the year, just an hour and 56 minutes.
Here's a high drive into left field by Bucky Dent. Craig Kusick chasing this one back in the left field corner, and Kusick makes a running one-handed grab and fouls round down in the left field corner. Oh, Craig Kusick, who was motoring out there, and the big fella over in the left field corner as the ball hooked foul. He backhanded it just as he went into the railing, and a fine catch by Kusick out there in left field off a long foul fly from Bucky Dent's bat.
The giant gazelle.
Yes, sirree.
He was a little upset because I intimated that he didn't have a lot of great speed the other day when he stole his first base of the year. He says, hey, I got 14 out of 18 in my major league career.
Well, here's Brian Doyle. He takes a strike. Little left-handed batter. One of 3 Doyle brothers. He's a brother of Denny with the Red Sox. Has another twin brother, Blake, at Rochester in the Baltimore system. It's a ground ball to second. Randall scoops it up and throws him out. That's Doyle's first at-bat in a regular season game for the Yankees, and he grounds out second to first. So a strong inning there, thanks to a nice catch by Craig Kusick. Strong inning for Erickson. 3 up, 3 down. Inning and a half. The Yankees 2 and the Twins nothing.
If your spark plugs are worn or misfiring, the right tune-up at the right price could help improve your car's fuel economy. And since this is AC Delco tune-up days at Brightwell Oil Company's 2 Des Moines locations, this is the right time to do it. Brightwell's will start with a 35-point check of your engine's operation on their AC Delco Diagnostic Tune-Up Center. With that advanced equipment and the know-how they have at Brightwell's, you'll get a thorough checkup. Then for your tune-up, Brightwell's uses AC Delco quality parts. That means a set of AC fire ring spark plugs matched with the right Delco Remy ignition parts. AC Delco tune-up parts can help restore your car's mileage and help restore lost pep and power, too. So for a lot of good reasons, make it a point to drive into Brightwell Oil Company for a quality engine diagnosis and AC Delco tune-up right now. See the guys at Brightwell's downtown Des Moines store at 919 Keogh Way and also at 42nd and University in Des Moines.
Well, as we get set for the bottom of the second inning with the never-a-dull-moment Yankees, Billy Martin arguing before the ball game that Roger Erickson didn't have red shoes on like the rest of the Twins. I'm not sure what all that meant, but I have a feeling that Billy's just trying to stay one up in gamesmanship with Gene Mock or any other rival manager, and it could be he's trying to do a little psych job on the rookie right-hander.
Well, here come the Twins, and Jose Morales batting at .364. Jose, the DH today, 1 RBI with the Twins. And Guidry's first pitch is low and inside for a ball. Kusick and Wolfe to follow.
Jose is 4 of 11. He has a couple of doubles and 1 RBI this year.
There's a fastball, and he whacks it foul upstairs on the first base side. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Morales. On the Twins' ground, they informing the folks here that this is the first major league appearance for Brian Doyle of the Yankees at second base. Did play in the exhibition the other night against the Mets. There's a foul sliced over in the first base seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian Doyle, I'll tell you, he looks, from a distance, looks a lot like his brother, Denny. I never met his other brother, his identical twin, Blake, who's at Rochester. Here's a foul backing out of play. 1 and 2. Somebody asked Brian, they said, you and Blake really identical twins? And he said, yeah, how do you tell each other apart? He says, well, I chew my tobacco on the right side, and he chews his on the left. And he does chew on the right. I don't know about Blake. Pitch to Jose is low for a ball, and it's 2 and 2 now to Morales. Guidry fanned 2 batters in the first inning. Rod Carew had a 2-strike count. He tried a bunt, and Guidry made a good play on him to throw him out. Guidry fanned Smalley and Ford. Now he's 2 and 2 with Jose Morales. Rivers well over into right center field, and White, the left field, is well off the line. The pitch is swung on, and foul tip hung on to by Munson. So Guidry has his 3rd strikeout of the first 4 batters in this game as Morales fan. And Kusick coming up.
Well, Guidry looks overpowering at the moment.
Kusick hitting .225 with 9 ribbies. He was hit on the left elbow by a pitch ball in that Oakland series, and they had a bad bone bruise. It's still sore. Swing and a miss, and Guidry's pitches are really moving down. No balls and 1 strike. Now to Craig Kusick.
He's quick, too.
The pitch. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. And the pitch. Low and outside. It's 2-1 now. Larry Wolfe on deck as the Twins trail 2-0. Craig Kusick who made a fine run and catch there off Bucky Dent down on the left field corner in foul ground in the top of this inning. Here's the pitch to the big guy, and he takes a good cut, but he misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Guidry's really pumping. Ron Guidry, who wears number 49. And as they wind up, the little left-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss. A fastball up, looked like from here on Kusick, and he struck him out, so that's 4 out of 5 that Guidry has fanned here at the start of the game. It'll bring up Larry Wolfe hitting .258 with 1 RBI.
Guidry's throwing like a reliever early in this one. He is really bringing it.
Guidry 16-7 last year, and in the second half of the year, while the Yankees were really battling Baltimore and Boston, Guidry won 10 out of 12 decisions for them. Don Gullett and Catfish Hunter were hurting. Here's the pitch. There's a drive hit out into right field. It's sinking in front of Jackson for a base hit. Reggie Jackson plays it on a bounce, and Wolfe singles to right. The first base hit. He just got the bat on the ball that time and dumped her out into right field. So a base hit for Larry Wolfe, and here's Bobby Randall. Bobby doing yeoman work out there, playing every game while Rob Wolfe on. Trying to heal up that cracked middle knuckle on his left hand. Randall hitting .309, has 5 runs batted in. There's the set by Guidry, and the pitch on the way, and it's too low, ball 1. Another Twin outfielder, right-handed batting Bombo Rivera. He's been limping around with a pulled hamstring. Says he feels better today, but still can't quite make it. Here's the pitch on the way to Randall, and he started the swing as the pitch, a fastball, went outside, and they say he did check up in time. 2 balls and no strikes. Jim Evans, the ball and strike umpire. Durwood Merrill at first. Marty Springstead at second. Larry Barnett umpiring at third. Yankees leading 2-0 in the second. And the pitch by Guidry is cut on a bouncing ball behind third. Backhanded by Nettles. Long throw to first. Got him. Down to Chambliss for the out at first as Nettles went behind the bag and got that long throw over there just in time. No runs, 1 hit, and no Yankee errors, and 1 left by the Twins. So at the end of 2, it's New York 2 and the Twins nothing.
The retailers of Associated Grocers of Iowa are out to win you over. They're a group of local independent businessmen whose only visible common denominator is the red and white AGI emblem on the door. Their stores are diverse in name, size, shape, and appearance. But whether a large supermarket or small grocery store, your AGI food store owner is big on the things that count, like service, selection, savings. He has to be, because to him it's not just a job, it's his business. And for you, that makes a lot of difference.
Well, the Moon Man, Bill Lee, who's undefeated in 4 straight outings this year, is pitching against Ferguson Jenkins and the Texas Rangers today, the Red Sox and the Rangers. An update after 4 now complete in the National League, the Pirates 3 and the Giants 3 in that one. Here, the Yankees 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Twins, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We get set for the top of the 3rd.
Top of the order for the Yankees, Mickey Rivers. He struck out in the first inning, takes the first pitch in there from Roger Erickson for a strike. Roy White on deck and Thurman Munson to follow. Yankees with 2 runs and 3 hits, and the Twins, no runs, 1 hit. Erickson into the motion, delivers. Fastball swung on and chopped foul down first base way. 2 strikes to Rivers. No balls, 2 strikes. Roger Erickson, who gave up 3 hits in the first inning and uncorked a wild pitch. Fastball down and away from Rivers, the left-handed batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roger trying to notch his 3rd win. He's 2-2 on the year. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Rivers goes down swinging for the 2nd time. Number 3 now for Erickson, and strikeouts. And here's White, who doubled into the right field corner to start the Yankee rally in the first inning. I'd like to welcome the Brian Chivers Tours from Winnipeg, Manitoba here today. They had a meal in the Halsey Hall room before the game today. Another group that had a picnic outdoors, the Lutheran Northwest Seminary of St. Paul. We welcome all those folks as Roy White looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. Right side of the infield back, Larry Wolfe at 3rd is up to the grass. Smalley 5 or 6 steps towards 2nd, up 2 or 3 steps. And the pitch on the way is off the outside corner. A ball, 1-1. Roy White has kind of an unusual batting stance, being a switch hitter, but the thing about him, he holds the bat very low. And he tries to bunt, but it goes foul. He was going to dump it down the 3rd baseline, even though Wolfe was playing in fairly shallow, but he was going to try to drop it softly down that way. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Munson waits on deck. Here's a windup and the pitch on the way. Swing, hit it off the handle, pop fly down the 3rd baseline, being chased by Wolfe, and Larry makes the grab down the line. Nice catch. A tough one as he had to go straight back down the line. It was a fair ball, and there were 2 gone now. Put out for Larry Wolfe. Here's Munson, who bounced out to Larry, who made a nice pickup going to his glove side in the first inning. 2-0. Yankees lead. Top of the 3rd with 2 out and nobody on. Erickson looking to Borgmann for the side. Playing Munson straight away. Here's the pitch on the way to him. Inside at the letters. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Munson. 3 years in a row, Munson has driven in 100 or more runs. Swings and misses. A breaking ball that time, down and away from him, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and a high drive going foul down the right field line. Out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last 3 years, Munson has hit over 300 and knocked in 100 or more runs. That's quite a feat for a catcher, 3 years in a row. So he has been very durable. Fouls another pitch off to the right, and it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 to Munson. Well, it should be an interesting matchup from Fenway Park on Wednesday. Young Gary Serum is going against Louis Tiant.
Well, you talk about durable. Munson has not caught, well, he has not caught less than 140 games since 1972.
Takes the next pitch low for a ball, and it's 2-2.
One year, a couple of years ago, he caught in 157 of the 162 games.
Putting in a full season's work. Hits one off the fist and fouls it high in the air behind the plate. Borgmann digging back after, but it's on the screen. So Munson's still alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All even on the count. Gary Serum against Louis Tiant Wednesday night from Fenway Park. The Twins have the next 2 days as open dates on the schedule, and our broadcast time Wednesday will be 6:25 Central Daylight Time.
You set your clocks up last night?
Some of them. There's a half swing, and oh, they say he didn't swing. Oh my goodness! He'd have hit that one. It would have gone about 340 feet.
Thurman gave it one of those frozen stance jobs, holding his arms out in front of him and said, hey, I didn't break the wrist.
Well, a judgment call by the umpire.
That's a thin line.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch by Roger Erickson. Swing and a line shot hit into left field. Kusick going back for it and reaches out and grabs it. Oh, Craig Kusick back on the track in left center field. And you know something? He made it look easy.
He just stuck the mitt up there, and the ball found it, I think. What a play.
Well, that's the way this game's supposed to be played. And how about that Coos playing left field for the first time in a regular game? He's made 2 fine catches, and there go the fans giving him a standing ovation. Way to go, Coos. He's all over the place out there. 3 up, 3 down. 2.5 innings, Yankees 2 and the Twins nothing.
Driving down the 4-lane highway. Cars and trucks are passing by me. This is where I like to be. Punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB. Got a chance to say hello to folks I never ever spoke to. Faces I just used to see. Now I'm talking to them loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
Talking's easy when you're punching through on a 40-channel Cobra. Every one of those Cobra CBs covers the distance and gets you through loud and clear. So if you're thinking of getting into CB, get out there loud and clear with a Cobra.
This is where I like to be, punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
In Bridgewater, Iowa, visit Dwyer Hardware. And in Dexter, see Herrick Radio.
Well, a second amazing catch by Craig Kusick, the left fielder today. He just kept going back in the gap in left center field, and that smash off the bat of Munson reached up as high as it could, and plopped, the ball fell right in his glove. Fine play.
And here's Willie Norwood to lead off the Twins. Will hitting .222 with 6 runs batted in, leads the club in stolen bases with 6. Glenn Borgmann and Roy Smalley to follow. So far, the Twins have had only 1 base runner, Larry Wolfe, with a 2-out single in the second inning. Pitch to Norwood, he takes a swing and he misses. As Guidry keeps the ball down most of the time. 1 strike to count to Willie Norwood. Outfield about straight away on Norwood. Second baseman Doyle a few steps towards second. Swing and a miss at the Hummer. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Willie got gunned down yesterday for only the second time out of 8 attempts.
Guidry has him in the hole now. 2 strikes. Left-hander pumps and throws. A high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
Boy, he is really popping that ball in there today.
Amazing at velocity he gets for a fellow his size. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Struck him out with a fastball that was away from him. Tremendous arm speed. If you watch Brian Guidry, just watch his arm. Boy, it's a flash.
Number 5.
In 2 1/3 innings. Glenn Borgmann batting .214. Borgie has 1 run batted in. One out, nobody on. The Twins down 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the pitch by Guidry is low for a ball. 7 Yankee putouts so far, 5 strikeouts. And Guidry, the pitcher, has an assist on one of the other putouts, and the other one went 3rd to 1st. Well, the Yankee field has been standing around a lot so far in this game. The pitch is down low for a ball. 2-1. 2-0 rather. 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out.
The ball that Randall hit to Nettles at 3rd is the only one they pulled today.
Guidry delivers. Strike on the outside corner. Borgmann had a notion, but checked his swing. It was called on him by Evans.
If you have a notion against this guy, you better go.
Pull it quick. Pull the trigger quick. Ground ball off the glove of Guidry. Doesn't know where it is for an instant. Now he's got it. Throws on to first for the out. Boy, that was a quick comebacker. Deflected by Guidry, and it rolled just a little behind and to the right of the mound. He didn't see it for an instant, but then made the play in time. So Guidry has his 2nd assist of the ball game. And Roy Smalley, who struck out in the 1st inning, coming up. Guidry was a number 3 draft pick in 1971. And he has paid dividends. There's a swing and a miss. A pitch down and in on Smalley. 0-1.
Twins will be at New York for that 2-game series on Monday and Tuesday, 8th and 9th of May. And the Yankees will be back here for the 2nd and final time this season on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of July. A weekend series.
Here's a pitch to Roy, and he swings, misses, same spot, down and in, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Yankees signed Guidry out of the University of Southern Louisiana. Ron, born in Lafayette, Louisiana. Smalley pops one up in the short right field. Brian Doyle, the second baseman, chasing it, makes the over-the-shoulder catch in short right field. Second baseman for the putout. That retires the Twins 1-2-3. 3 complete now. Here at the Met, the score of the New York Yankees 2 and the Minnesota Twins nothing.
Your Harris Auto Parts, Mr. Automotive in Ames, carries a battery that's designed to take care of itself. It's called the Delco Freedom Battery. Comparing the Delco Freedom Battery with a conventional battery is like comparing apples and oranges. Sure, both will start your car, but that's about all they have in common. With a conventional battery, you have to remember to check the charge with the hydrometer. But Delco put an end to all of that. When you buy a Delco Freedom Battery from Harris Auto Parts, Mr. Automotive Ames, freedom is exactly what you get. No more hydrometer to check the charge. In short, no more remembering. The Delco Freedom Battery offers you freedom. Freedom from maintenance. And it's packed with plenty of sealed-in starting kick and cranking power for fast, reliable starts. So come on in and check out the powerful maintenance-free Delco Freedom Battery at Harris Auto Parts, Mr. Automotive, 2nd and Elm in Ames.
Yankees lead the Twins 2-0 after 3. Here come the Yankees for the 4th, and here comes Joe McConnell.
Thank you, Herb, and it's Reggie Jackson, the cleanup man, leading off against Roger Erickson here in the top of the 4th. Reggie bounced one right through the middle for a base hit and scored a run back in the first inning and takes the fastball down low for ball 1. Reggie's 10th RBI of the year, the first Yankee to reach that figure. He and Spencer are tied with the club leadership for home runs of 3 apiece. There's a big swing and a miss on a sinking fastball, and it's 1-1. Reggie was trying to go downtown with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Reggie Jackson. The MVP of the World Series. Broke up the 6th and decisive game against the Dodgers with 3 consecutive home runs. Swing and a foul to the left side and back into the mezzanine. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Erickson gets in front of the big left-handed hitting right fielder. Reggie now has 4 hits and 9 at-bats in this series. Came in today hitting .247 for the year. The Yankees hit only .258 as a ball club. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reggie Jackson. Check swing, strike 3 call. Good sinking fastball. Jackson tried to hold back, couldn't do it. That's strikeout number 4 for Erickson. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is where you hear the Twins during the 1978 Major League season.
This is WHO Radio in Des Moines. We have 55 degrees at 2:03.
One down, and the batter is Chris Chambliss, who looped a single to left field to drive in the second run of the first inning, and he takes a cut and a miss at an Erickson fastball that's down and in on him. 0-1. Chambliss now 2 for 5 in the series and an RBI. Here's the pitch, swung on and hammered in the hole and out into right field for a base hit by Bobby Randall, the second baseman. So Chambliss comes up with his second straight hit today. That's a ground ball single to right field. And that's the first Yankee runner since the first inning. Erickson had retired 8 straight. Hit number 4 by the Yankees. Brings up Graig Nettles, who struck out swinging in the first inning. He was 1 for 8 in the series. Off to a slow start this year, down around 205 now. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Left-handed batter. Pitch by Erickson. And a check swing, and he went more than halfway. It's a strike. In around the knees, that fastball coming in and dipping down. And in on the left-handed batters. Almost like a curveball. Roger will cut it a little bit. He looks at Chambliss leading off first base. There's a pitch, and he wastes one. A fastball high and outside, and it's 1-1. Roger will throw the heat about 80% of the time. Has a slider. Once in a while, we'll throw the curve. 1-1 count to Graig Nettles. Swung on and chopped foul past Gene Michaels, the Yankees coach at first base. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count on Nettles. The Yankees have 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. They lead the Twins 2-0 as they came up with a pair in the first inning. Chambliss, who's 2 for 2 in the afternoon, leads off first. There's the pitch, fastball down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Nettles. Carew holding the runner, and then as soon as Erickson goes into his stretch motion, Rodney moves away from the line a little bit. There's a stretch by Erickson. Here comes the pitch. High and away for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Nettles with 1 out, 1 on. Jackson fanned to start this inning, and Chambliss rolled one in the hole by second baseman Bobby Randall out into right field for his second single. Here's the full count pitch. The runner's going, and it's ball 4 outside. Erickson missed with a fastball, and the Yankees have 2 on now. And that's the first base on balls in 2 days. And for Erickson, his 13th pass of the year. So now the Yankees have runners on first and second with 1 out, and Jim Spencer, the designated hitter, set to stand in. He popped up to the shortstop, Roy Smalley, back in the second inning. The outfield deep and a little bit around to the right. The infield deep and around to the right. Smalley is shading second. Randall over in the hole. Spencer had 18 home runs last year for the White Sox, 4 of them against the Twins. There's the stretch by Erickson and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That time it was a slider that jammed him in around the fists and just below the belt. 0-1. Wolfe is off the line at third and about 4 or 5 steps behind the bag. Carew playing deep at first and behind the runner. 1 strike to count. Erickson looks out at Chambliss leading off second. There's a pitch swung on a nub foul to the right side and back up against the railing, and it's 0-2 now as Erickson moves out in front of Spencer, and catcher Glenn Borgmann goes out to talk to the young right-hander. Yankees at one time were 4 games under 500. They got off to a bad 2-6 start. So they won 3 out of 4 to climb back over 500, winning the first game of this 3-game series Friday night. But Zane put them right back at 50-50 with that 5-hit performance yesterday. They're 9-9 on the year. Here's the 0-2 pitch now to Spencer with 1 out and 2 on. Way outside, pops out of Borgmann's mitt, quickly pounces on it, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes as Erickson wasted 1, high and away. Gary Serum, who pitched a complete ball game in his first Major League start out at Oakland, will get the call on Wednesday night against the veteran right-hander Louis Tion at Boston in the first of a 2-game set at Fenway. There's the stretch by Erickson. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. By Spencer, fanned on an inside pitch that was down and away. It broke right in under the knees, and he went for a bad ball. That's the 5th strikeout now for Roger Erickson. So he's matching Guidry in that department. 10 strikeouts so far for the game. And we're only in the top of the 4th. 2 down, and Bucky Dent, the batter. He lined the ball foul down the left field line that Kusick made a one-hand catch on. He whacks another one way down the left field line, hooking foul. Dent way around in front of that pitch. Hit it a long way. And here comes Borgmann out to the mound to talk with Erickson again. Strike 1 to count on Bucky Dent, who's now 3 for 8 in the series with 2 runs batted in. Kusick made that long running one-handed catch in foul territory down in the corner the first time Dent came up today. This one would not have been caught as he whacked it out of here, and it hooked foul. Strike 1 to count. Erickson looks in to get the sign. Chambliss with a big lead off second. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and popped foul to the right side. Carew starts over and then watches it drop way back into the lower deck. Well, the Lunker Club from Clear Lake, Iowa is here, along with members from the Viaduct Bar at Hager City, Wisconsin. The Lacrosse Central Sunshine Club from La Crosse, Wisconsin are here. And a group from New Hope, Minnesota, representing the Distron Company. Good crowd here today. Here's the strike 2 pitch on Dent. He bounces the ball to Wolfe at third. He'll make the unassisted put-out, running to the bag in front of Chris Chambliss to retire the side. So the Yankees do not score in the 4th. They leave 2 men on with a hit and a walk. And after 3.5 at the Met to score, the Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
And now, a message for business people from Northwestern Bell. Have you ever wondered why some business people are so successful, yet they never seem to leave their office? Chances are they're relying on long distance, and that is good business. And that's also successful business. Long distance can be used in place of face-to-face meetings to get answers to questions so you can act on them immediately. Conducting business by long distance means you're doing business at the speed of sound. And it sure beats fighting traffic on the road or sending letters, then waiting and waiting for an answer. Whatever business you're in, long distance can probably help your business run a whole lot smoother and a whole lot faster. Next time, use the phone. find out what those successful people have known all along, that long distance is good business.
Yankees lead 2-0, and before the Twins bat in the fourth, let's pause 30 seconds. This is the play-by-play broadcast of the Minnesota Twins.
You know, we here at Peaster Derby spend an awful lot of time talking about how clean the stations are and how good the gas is, but we really don't talk enough about the guys who work at Peaster stations. I mean, they are really nice guys. They're the kind of guys who help old ladies across streets. That's the kind of guys they are. Like, have you ever noticed that Peaster stations are always located on streets? That's just so our guys can help old ladies across. Peaster. It's a gas.
The first pitch by the left-hander Ron Guidry, a fastball in there at the knees for a strike. 0-1 on Rod Carew. Here's the next pitch. And another fastball, this time low and away for a ball. 1-1. Carew tried to bunt with 2 strikes on him in the first inning and roll it to the left side of the mound, and Guidry made a fine play. The next pitch is lifted foul to the left side and back out of play in the lower seats, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guidry in front of Rod Carew. Rod is 1 for 7 in the series. Started the day hitting .350. His 36 hits, tops in the majors. Second in the American League is Bruce Boxley, the left fielder for the Seattle Mariners. He had a total of 30 base hits. He's hitting in the 320s.
Hey, Joe and fans, interesting comment by Sparky Anderson. Since Pete Rose got those 5 hits yesterday, now has 2,996, and Sparky says if he gets 3 hits early in that game today, I'm going to pull him out because he's going to get number 3,000 at home. The Reds go home. They play the Phillies tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's a local boy, and they want him to do it at Riverfront. 1-2 to count on Carew. Here's the pitch by Guidry, and Rod pops up a bunting attempt, and Guidry makes the catch in fair territory, running towards the third base line. Well, Rod has tried to bunt twice today on a 2-strike count. This time he pops up to the pitcher. So there's 1 down. That brings up Danny Ford. I really hate to see Rod take the bat out of his hands that way, although he was a leadoff man trying to get on base. Danny struck out swinging in the first inning. 7 RBI game in Oakland. Here's the pitch. High fastball. Jammed him at the letters. Ball 1. Ford is 1 for 5 in the series. A double. He has driven in a run. Here's the next pitch. Fastball up high again. 2-0. Ford got the first RBI of the ball game yesterday when he slashed one off the first base bag and ricocheted to the second baseman, Willie Norwood, who made the put-out, but the run scored from third. There's a fastball. Oh, late call. In there for a strike. That looked inside and high, but umpire Jim Evans said, nope, it got a piece of the plate. Danny looks down at third base coach Carl Keel. 2-1 to count. Guidry into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Strike 2 called up around the letters. Guidry coming up a little bit now with the pitches, but still got tremendous velocity. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Danny Ford. With 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. The Yankees leading the Twins 2-0. They got 2 in the first. There's the pitch. Strike 3 call. Hit it. The outside corner. Now, wait a minute. What are they doing? Well, apparently he changed the call, and it's 3-2 now. He changed the call on that third call. He flashed the right arm and gave the strike signal, but apparently it was a ball, so it's a full count on Danny Ford. Now he strikes out, swinging on a fastball up and away from him. The Ford fans on a 3-2 pitch. That is strikeout number 6 for the fireballing left-hander. Boy, he has just been overpowering so far in this ball game. He's given up 1 hit. A looping single to right field by the third baseman, Larry Wolfe. Now here's Jose Morales, who struck out on a foul tip back in the second inning. He is 0 for 1. 2 down here for the Twins in the bottom of the 4th. Guidry delivers. Fastball, strike called. Another late call. And this one was up around the letters, and Jose says something to the umpire, Jim Evans. 0-1 the count. Guidry delivers, and Morales whacks one down the first base line into right field for a base hit. Jose around first, makes a big turn, and he'll hold up with a single. A ground ball just inside the bag, that stayed fair and rolled out into right field. So Morales goes the wrong way with a single. That's hit number 2 off of Ron Guidry, and both have been to right field. And that brings up Craig Kusick, who's made 2 fine catches in left field today. Craig struck out swinging in the second. He has 9 RBIs, a double and a triple. 9 hits and now 41 at bat. He had 5 RBIs in the home opener here against Seattle. Big, strong right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low for a ball. Over the plate from below the knees. 1-0 the count to Craig Kusick. With 2 out and Morales at first. Hughes is about ready to lose one into the seats somewhere. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss on a fastball up around the letters. 1 ball and 1 strike. Guidry is throwing his heater up. And if somebody can get good wood on it, ball might jump out of here. There's the look at first base. Morales with a safe lead. Guidry delivers. Swinging a nub foul off the catcher, Thurman Munson, and off to the right. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guidry has given up 2 singles so far, and 3 2/3. He is fanned 6. Leans down to get the sign from catcher Thurman Munson. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kusick. Morales leads off first. There's a pitch, check swing. Hit his back, gets away from the catcher Thurman Munson, and Kusick's going to be safe at first. Morales goes to second base as the 3rd strike got away from Thurman Munson. Well, a wild pitch. A strikeout and a wild pitch. That's the 7th strikeout for Guidry. And Kusick winds up at first base. And now the Twins have 2 on with 2 out, and Larry Wolfe, who singled the first time up, ready to step in.
They're going to call it, I think they're going to rule that a foul ball. Jim Evans, the plate umpire, went down there. And now Gene Mock has come out. So I think probably Evans got help that time from Derwood Merrill, the first base umpire. Although, why he didn't know it was a foul ball at the plate. It's kind of a mystery.
I don't know, but this is the second mess-up we've had behind the plate this inning. He had everybody fooled on the count to Danny Ford earlier in the inning. After he signaled a strike, it was late, way after the pitch. And then he changed his mind, apparently, and now he is...
Well, the man's still on second base, of course. If it's a foul ball, then Morales has to go back.
Well, absolutely. Willie Martin's out there arguing. That can't be one. It's got to be one or the other.
That's what But they really... I didn't see anybody tell Morales he's got to go back to first base. And Billy Martin, now he's pointing out there, says, how can a man go to second on a foul ball? It would... else they ruled it. He just didn't swing.
Yeah, they ruled that was a ball. So the count now is 2-2, and the wild pitch stands. Morales is now over at second base with 2 outs, and a 2-2 count now on Craig Kusick. They ruled that he checked his swing in time, and the pitch just got away. Here's the pitch to Kusick. Check swing, down low for ball 3.
I tell you can't blame Kusick for trying, though.
Absolutely not. 3-2, the count on Craig Kusick. Morales with a big lead off second. Here comes the payoff pitch. Check swing, down low for ball 4. Well, he winds up on first base anyway. First walk by Guidry. And this is the first time today the Twins have had 2 base runners. Runners on first and second with 2 outs, and now Larry Wolfe comes to the plate. Well, we'd like to see a repeat of the first inning right here. I should say the first at bat. It was in the second when Wolfe singled to right after 2 were out.
That was a pretty good example on Kusick's part when he did run, not taking anything for granted.
He's played a very alert ball game so far today. There's the stretch by Guidry, and the pitch to Wolfe. Swing and a miss. 0-1. That pitch looked to be a sinker, down and in on him. Strike 1 to Larry Wolfe. Twins trying to get something started here with 2 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. The Yankees lead it 2-0. Got 2 in the first off of Erickson. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Larry Wolfe. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He was late on the fastball, down around the knees on the outside part of the plate. Now Wolfe backs out of there. 0-2 the count. Guidry looking in to get the sign. Morales leads off second. Kusick off at first. They're not holding. Here's the 2-strike pitch on Larry Wolfe. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Number 7 for Ron Guidry in 4 innings here at the Met. The Twins, no runs, no hits, make that one hit by Morales, and a walk and 2 men left. And after 4 complete, the score, the Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
If you're concerned about stretching your food dollar, we'd like you to consider shopping wherever you see the red and white emblem of Associated Grocers of Iowa. It tells you that here is a local independent businessman who does it all, with selection, low prices, and lots of helpful service. Of course, that's easy enough to say. Any store can tell you that they smile a lot or that they have super colossal discount pricing. But the truth is, the only way you really know is to check it out yourself. We think we'll come out on top. Because, you see, your local AGI grocer has put his money where his mouth is. He has a big investment in your community, which simply means his livelihood depends completely on satisfying his customers. He's got to give you his best every day.
Go to the top of the 5th, 2-0. The Yankees leading, 2 runs, 4 hits. The Twins, no runs on 2 hits. Erickson to face the top of the order, Mickey Rivers. He has fanned him twice. There's a swing and a foul back, and that's not Rivers. That's Brian Doyle, the number 9 hitter. He rolled out in his first major league at bat to Bobby Randall back in the 2nd inning. Then it'll be Rivers and White. Brian Doyle, wearing number 25 on the back of his gray traveling uniform, stands up in that batter's box, slightly closed stance. It's a pretty good crouch. He chokes up an inch or so on the handle. There's a swing and a foul, pop to the left side. Wolfe charging over to the railing and makes the left-handed catch right up against the railing, just beyond the Yankee dugout, behind third base. Nice catch by Larry Wolfe. Well, Brian Doyle pops out in foul territory, third baseman Larry Wolfe. And now Mickey Rivers, who has fanned in both appearances today. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Rivers, the doctor of jive in the major leagues. He is perpetual motion. That bat never stops moving. There's a pitch swung on and hit high in the air towards the left side. Smalley racing out into short left field. Kusick coming in. Craig calls Roy away and makes the catch in shallow left field. So Rivers pops to Craig Kusick in left, and they're 2 down. That brings up Roy White, who whacked a double down the right field line and scored the first run of the ball game back in the 1st inning, and then popped up to the third baseman Larry Wolfe in the 3rd. So he's 1 for 2 today. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the right-hander Roger Erickson. From the right side of the plate this year, White's hitting .333, but he's only been at bat 12 times as a right-hander with 4 hits. Slightly open stance. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high into the air in shallow left field. Smalley going out. Kusick coming in. Kusick calls for the ball and makes the catch, and it's 3 up and 3 down in quick order here in the top half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And after 4.5 at the Met, the Yankees still lead the Twins. The Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
If you are like most people these days, 3 out of every 4 automobile trips you make are for less than 10 miles. So those miles may not add up very fast. That's why Seidel's Mr. Automotive in Newton suggests you check your owner's manual now. More than likely, you'll find that it recommends a change of oil and oil filter on a time or mileage basis, whichever comes first. So think months, not just miles. A new AC oil filter from Seidel's Mr. Automotive in Newton provides up to 12 feet of dirt-trapping protection with the unique AC W-fold. An AC oil filter helps keep intricate engine parts running smooth and clean. So, think months, not just miles. It's worth it to you to make sure you get quality engine protection. And that's what you get from an AC oil filter from Seidel's Mr. Automotive, 1730 First Avenue East in Newton. Stop in today.
Well, in the American League, Kansas City won Milwaukee nothing after 1.5. Kansas City pitching rookie Rich Gale, who replaced Steve Busby, the veteran, sent down to Omaha. Mike Caldwell, the left-hander for the Brewers. Boston and Texas scoreless after 1 at Texas. Bill Lee against Fergie Jenkins. Baltimore 4, the White Sox nothing after 2.5 in Chicago. Ken Singleton, a 3-run homer for Baltimore. Flanagan against Barrios. Toronto at California, Jerry Garvin against Chris Knapp. And later on, Cleveland at Oakland and Detroit at Seattle. Dave Johnson of the Phillies just hit a grand slam. They now lead San Diego 9-4 after 5 innings at Philadelphia.
Another jackpot home run. Well, they've had a lot of grand slams this year. Bobby Randall now to lead off the Twins half of the fifth. Takes a Guidry sinker low and inside for a ball. Bobby hitting in the number 7 spot today. Bounced out third to first back in the second inning. Here's the pitch. That time the fastball's in right down the pipe. 1-1. Randall came in today hitting .309 with 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 5 RBIs. He's hit the ball well. So the pitch swung on and whacked in the hole. One-handed scoop up by Doyle to throw to first, and Randall is out. Nice play by the rookie Brian Doyle at second base, taking a base hit away from Bobby Randall. The ground ball was hit in the hole. Willie Norwood, who struck out swinging back in the third. One of 7 strikeout victims this afternoon by the left-hander Ron Guidry. Norwood's been in a slump the last 4 or 5 ball games. His batting average has dropped to .222. Here's the pitch by Guidry. Low and inside with the fastball, and it's 1-0. After 3 periods in the first game of that NBA playoff game between Philadelphia and Washington, the Sixers lead the Bullets 81-77. There's a pitch low and away, and it's 2-0 now to Norwood. 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. The Twins trying to get something started against Guidry, who's been overpowering here. The next pitch, fastball right in there. The knees in the inside corner, 2-1. Norwood playing right field today. There's a pitch. He's late, swings and misses on a fastball as Guidry blew it right by him. 2-2. Willie's played a couple of games in center field for Danny Ford, the finale out in Oakland and the opener here Friday night against the Yankees. This is his first time in right field since the regular season got underway. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball over the plate but low for ball 3, and Norwood started down to first base. He thought he had a base on balls. Well, it's a full count now, 3-2 to Willie Norwood. Guidry up and over and in, and Norwood fouls it off to the right side. Back out of play, and it's still 3-2. Guidry rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hammered to center field. It's hit deep. Going back is Rivers, and he makes the one-handed catch 400 feet away from home plate out on the warning track. Oh, Norwood really hammered that ball. Deep to right center field. He hit it to the farthest point of the ballpark here, and Rivers, racing back to that padded fence out there, made the catch about 3 steps away from the wall.
Well, it's good to see Willie making good contact like that because he's got the power to hit some home runs. He hasn't hit one so far this year, but boy, he really gave Allen a good ride and a good catch by Mickey Rivers, who had to go a long way to catch up with the ball.
Here's Borgie. He hit a real bullet back to Guidry, who knocked it down and then made the play. 1-3. Swinging a foul back to the screen on the fastball. 0-1 to Glenn Borgmann. Borgmann had a great spring. Hit about 380. Hit several home runs. Hasn't had a chance to play too often this year. He was 3 for 14. There's a pitch, fastball, high and away for a ball. 1-1. Borgie has 2 RBIs this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Check swing. The fastball comes up high for ball 2. And again, Evans sliced the right arm, but that time it was a ball. I'm not sure what he's doing behind the plate on a couple of those pitches. 2 balls and 1 strike. Borgie set. Here's Guidry's pitch. Fastball, low, and it's 3-1. I think what Evans is doing with that right hand is giving the finger count to the pitcher. 3-1 the count to Borgmann. Trying to work his way on with 2 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Guidry delivers. Fastball up high for ball 4. That's the second base on balls given up by Guidry today. 2 in the last inning and 2/3. So the Twins have another man aboard in catcher Glenn Borgmann, and that brings up Roy Smalley, who struck out to start the ball game and popped to the second baseman Brian Doyle in the third. So he is 0 for 2. Batting right-handed against the lefty today. There's a stretch by Guidry. Here's the pitch to Smalley. A fastball up high for ball 1. Guidry's been coming up with the heater in the last couple of innings, but has been able to still get enough of his pitches over to keep the Twins handcuffed. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Smalley. Swung on and line to left field. Over is Roy White, and he makes the catch about 3 steps in front of the warning track. Smalley really whacked that ball to left field, but right at the left fielder, Roy White, to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left, and after 5 completed the Met, the score. The Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
Driving down the four-lane highway.
Driving down the four-lane highway.
Cars and trucks passing by me. This is where I like to be, punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
Got a chance to say hello to.
Got a chance to say hello.
Folks I never ever spoke to.
Never spoke to.
Faces I just used to see. Now I'm talking to them loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
Cobra has a complete line of CBs that are priced to fit anybody's budget. There's mobile, base station, single sideband, and in-dash models to choose from. All 40 channels, and they all deliver that famous Cobra punch, so you can cover the distance and come through loud and clear.
This is where I like to be, punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
In Mapleton, Iowa, it's CB's CB Shop. And in Stewart, see Lonsdale Electronics.
5 complete innings, Yankees 2, Twins nothing, and we pause 30 seconds. This is the play-by-play broadcast of the Minnesota Twins.
Say, if you promise not to tell any of the Peaster Derby station guys, I'll reveal to you how Mr. Peaster gets him to keep the places so clean. I mean, by nature, I don't think of men as being super sanitary types. But what Mr. Peaster does is he tells them that people drive in with kids who like to watch the pumps work, and that makes it family entertainment. So our act, meaning the place, has got to be clean. Or for the athletic types, he calls them as clean-up hitters. And that works pretty well. Peaster, it's a gas.
The catcher, Thurman Munson, leading off against Roger Erickson and the Twins for the Yankees here in the 6th inning, and Erickson throws a breaking ball in there for a strike. Again, a late call by the plate umpire, Jim Evans. That pitch just got the outside part of the plate at the knees. 0-1 the count to Thurman Munson. Munson has bounced out third to first and lined to Kusick in left field. There's a pitch scooped out of the dirt by Borgmann, 1-1. The ball that Munson whacked out to left field in the third inning, Kusick made a great over his head one-handed running catch in left center field in the gap. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul to the right side and drifting back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Thurman Munson, who would rather be in Cleveland. That's some choice between New York and Cleveland. And he's from the Canton, Ohio area, went to college at Kent State. He's a native Buckeye and would like to be at home. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitting catcher. Been a busy man the last 6 years in the Yankee uniform. Has caught practically every ball game. Here's the pitch. Swung on to the curveball and laced into center field, hooking away from the center fielder. And still a nice running one-handed catch by Danny Ford in the gap out in right center field. That ball was drifting away from Ford. Willie Norwood crossed behind him on the play, and so Munson flies out to Danny Ford in medium deep right center field. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is where you hear the Twins during the 1978 Major League season.
This is WHO Radio, Des Moines.
Reggie Jackson hits a bullet by the sprawling Rod Carew and out into right field for a base hit. That's Jackson's second hit today and his 5th in the series. That was a one-hopper, a smash to the second base side of Rod Carew, who sprawled out there in an attempt to try to knock it down. 1 on, 1 out. Brings up Chris Chambliss, who's 2 for 2 and an RBI today. Jackson now 2 for 3 and a run scored in an RBI. Jackson is 3 for 6 in the stolen base department. He's got about a 2.5, 3-stride lead. Carew holding it first. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. Over the plate but low with a fastball, ball 1. Yankees now have 5 hits, a double and 4 singles off of Roger Erickson, and we're in the top of the 6th. There's a stretch by Roger. Here's a pitch. Jackson's going. The pitch is low for a ball. There's a throw to second, and he is in there. Reggie Jackson just swiped his 4th base of the year. Smalley dropped the tag, but the ball on the tag, but Jackson was already there. Stolen base number 4 for Reggie. He doesn't get that real big jump either. Well, Jackson was able to score in the first inning when Erickson wild pitched him to second. Now he's in scoring position with 1 out here in the 6th inning. 2-0 the count to Chambliss, the batter. Came up with the Cleveland Indians. He and Roy White are probably the 2 steadiest players on a year-to-year basis the Yankees have, although Munson's had about 4 great years in a row. Now, Borgmann calls time and trots out to talk to Erickson in front of the mound. Good crowd here today at the Met. The sun deck out in left field. The lower deck is filled all the way back up to where the shadow hits from the upper deck, and we got a few up in the upper deck as well, scattered out, taking in the rays here. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Chambliss. Down low for ball 3. Another bad one would move him down to first base and bring up Graig Nettles. Rogers walked 1 today. He struck out 5. Looks in to get the sign from catcher Glenn Borgmann. There's the pitch, and it's a strike call on the outside part of the plate at the knees. Fastball moving away from the left-handed hitter, and it's 3-1. Chambliss will have the green light on this one. Jackson is standing lead at second. He extends it a little bit. 3 or 4 strides in the bag. There's the pitch. Strike 2 called. Hit the outside part of the plate at the belt. So now it's a full count of 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chambliss. Erickson to the belt. Looks out at Jackson. Jackson fakes the break. There's a line drive. Whacked right at Smalley. It's going to be a double play as Reggie got cut off the bag. Chambliss hit a bullet right to Roy Smalley and Jackson. In fact, Jackson had to duck out of the way to avoid being hit, and Smalley made the catch behind Jackson and easily ran over to second base unassisted for the double play. Number 30 on the year for the Twins. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left for the Yankees in the top of the 6th, and after 5.5 at the Met to score. The Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
Have we got a car here, America? Have we got a car here? A precious size of apple, Michael Chevy Malibu. It's going where you're going, and it's going there in style. A new size Malibu that's sure to make you smile.
We made Malibu just for you, America, just for you today. It's loaded with fresh ideas plus that deep-down Chevy value you love. Come on to Malibu, America.
A precious size of apple pie from your good friend Chevrolet. A car that fits America the way it is today.
Cook for quality. Cook for service. Cook Paint. Always quality and service.
Cook Paint Decorating Center, may I help you?
I'm a stop and start painter. Any ideas how to keep brushes soft?
When you stop for the day or a few hours, wrap your brushes or rollers in aluminum foil. You won't have to clean them up, and you're ready to paint whenever you want to.
Thank you very much.
For quality paints and answers to any painting problem, ask the professionals at your Cook Paint Decorating Center.
Bobby Randall has been selected as the Twins Fisher Nut Player of the Week, and a case of Fisher Salted in the Shell peanuts will be donated to the Capitol Community Services in Bobby Randall's name.
Rod Carew to lead off the bottom half of the 6th inning now against Ron Guidry. Carew is 0 for 2 today. He's tried to bunt his way on twice. Once rolled back to the mound. The second time popped up to the pitcher, Guidry. Takes a strike call on the outside corner. 0-1. Rodney is deep in that batter's box. Slightly open stance. Here's the pitch. Fastball, low and away. 1-1. Nettles is about 3 or 4 steps in on the infield grass and off the line at third. Here's the pitch to Carew. Swung on and the grounded ball. Scooped up with the shortstop, Bucky Dent. Sidearm flip to first base. He is out. 6-3. So Carew now is 0 for 6 in the last 2 ball games against the Yankees and 1 for 9 in the series. He hit .450 against New York last year. Danny Ford, who has struck out twice today. Guidry has not struck out a man since the 4th inning. The Twins whacked a couple of pretty good shots off of him in the 5th and couldn't get anything going. Danny Ford leads the club in home runs and RBIs with 4 and 18 respectively. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and chopped foul to the left side. Strike 1. Fastball riding in on him around the 5th. Oh, 1 the count. Munson sets the target for the outside part of the plate. There's the pitch, and it rides inside and high for a ball. 1-1. Well, from Birchwood, Wisconsin, we've got people from the Bluebill Bar here. There's a big swing and a miss, and Danny Ford falls down in the batter's box and spun right out from underneath his batting helmet. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Also, American Legion Post 282 from St. Louis Park is here, and Pulaski's Bar is represented here from northeast Minneapolis. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Danny Ford. Swung on and bounced in the hole, and a diving stop by Chambliss. Scramble his knees, throws to first, got him. The pitcher, Guidry, over there to take the play. A diving stop by Chambliss, who then scrambled up to his knees and flipped to Guidry coming over to cover the bag. Fine play, 3-1 put out. And that's about as tough a 3-1 put out as you'll see. 2 down, and that brings up Jose Morales, the designated hitter today, batting in the number 4 spot. Jose struck out swinging on a foul tip back in the second, and then got a ground ball single just inside the first base bag on the right field line the last time up. He advanced as far as second, and that's as far as any Twins runner has been today. So Jose is 1 for 2. Infield deep and around to the left. Guidry into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball, high and tight for a ball 1. Count, and it's 1-0. Swung on. There's a high bouncer to Nettles. He lets it go. Dent deep at short. Feels the ball. Long throw. Got him by a stride. So it's 3 up and 3 down for the Twins on 3 infield ground balls in the 6th. And after 6 complete at the net to score. The Yankees 2, the Twins nothing.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Sparkles by AC.
Want to give your gas mileage a lift? Then see your AC Delco dealer. If you need a tune-up, AC fire ring spark plugs and Delco Remy ignition parts are the way to go. They can help your gasoline mileage, and they can also help restore performance, including that all-important passing power. Your AC Delco dealer has the AC fire ring spark plugs and Delco Remy ignition parts that are right for your car. So go see them. You'll be thankful you did.
When you want to go with a name you know, you can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Sparkles by AC.
Available at Porter Auto Parts and Service, 504 1st Avenue South, Altoona. Spark plugs for most cars, trucks, and farm equipment in stock.
Well, a beautiful 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo was just motored around the net here. It'll be given away on Fan Appreciation Night to some lucky fan on September 25th. And don't forget, a couple of big days coming up. Jacket Day on the 28th of May and Helmet Day here at the Met on June 18th. The Yankees 2 runs on 5 hits. The Twins no runs on 2 hits. And now to call the play-by-play here in the 7th is Herb Carneal.
Okay, Joe, and Nettles up, fouls the first pitch back for the strike, 0-1. Nettles struck out in the first inning. Drew a base on balls in the 4th. He'll be followed by Jim Spencer, another left-handed batter, and then Bucky Dent, the shortstop. Yankees scored in the first inning, both their runs. And now lead it 2-0 here in the top of the 7th. Erickson into the motion, delivers a fastball, check swing, bounce back to Roger Erickson. He has it, flips it over to Carew, and it's an easy out on Nettles, who didn't get his full cut that time. 1-3, the put out, and here's Spencer, the designated hitter, number 12. Jim was popped to short and struck out. The first inning after Rivers struck out to start the game, White double to the right field corner. Munson bounced the third, good play by Larry Wolfe. Munson scored when Jackson singled to center. He took second on a wild pitch and scored when Chambliss lined a single to left. Erickson winding, the pitch to Spencer. High and wide for the ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And the windup by Roger. Here's the pitch. Spencer bounces one down the first base line. It's foul by Gene Michael, the coach at first base, and it's 1-1 out of Spencer. Erickson so far has struck out 5 Yankee batters, going after his 3rd win of the year. But the Twins haven't been able to do a thing today with Ron Guidry. The hardest hit ball was a long out off the batter Willie Norwood, and the 5th inning caught by Mickey Rivers out near the fence, just to the right of center field. Here's the pitch to Spencer. On the low outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Erickson, of course, his first career appearance against the New York Yankees. And Spencer, the veteran left-handed batter, waiting. Swings and he misses. It's a slider down and in on him. And there's number 6 in strikeouts for Roger Erickson. 2 down here in the 7th, and Dent, the shortstop, coming up. Craig Kusick, nice running grab of Dent's long foul in the left field corner in the 2nd. And Bucky hit into a force out. Third baseman Larry Wolfe unassisted. In the 4th inning, when he came up with 2 out, men on 1st and 2nd. Right-handed batter chokes the bat, takes the fastball inside. Ball 1 to Bucky Dent, the number 8 batter, with the rookie second baseman Brian Doyle batting 9th. 2 out and nobody on. Roger Erickson delivers. Swing and a foul back towards the mezzanine. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Dent.
The 6th strikeout a moment ago by Roger Erickson, his career high with the Twins.
Here's the windup of the pitch to Bucky Dent. Strike on the outside corner of the plate. It's 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees had 3 of their 5 hits in the first inning today. Chambliss singled in the 4th inning, and Jackson singled in the 6th. Here's Rogers' pitch to Bucky Dent. Too low. And that evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Yankee shortstop, whom the Twins play about straight away. Smalley a step or 2 towards second. Wolfe is back deep at third. Erickson's 2-2 delivery. Swung on, hit off the 5th. Weak ground ball to short. Smalley up with it. Fires to Carew, and they got him. Short to first. Strong inning for Erickson. So, they go 1, 2, 3, and let's take a stretch going to the bottom of the 7th here at the Met. It's the Yankees 2 and the Twins nothing.
A break in the action brings us to some important tips for business people from Northwestern Bell. Before you drive halfway across the state to call on a customer, call first long distance. You could save yourself time and energy, plus find out what your customer's needs are so you can arrive with the answer. Got a client who hasn't placed an order with you in months? Get on the phone. A long-distance call may be all it takes to reactivate his interest. Do you ever mail important letters or proposals, then wait for days for a response? Follow that letter with a long-distance phone call. Make sure your letter arrived. Get your answer fast. Got a list of folks who've owed you money for a few months? Call them long distance. It's easy to ignore a letter, but hard to ignore and not respond to a phone call. Northwestern Bell hopes these tips come in handy for you and wants to remind you that long distance is good business.
A look at the scoreboard in the American League after 2. Kansas City with a 1-0 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. Texas and Boston. At Texas, no score after 2. Kenny Singleton has hit a 3-run homer for the Baltimore Orioles in the top of the 3rd at Chicago, and the Orioles lead 4-1 over the White Sox. In the National League, after 7 now, the Phillies with a big 5-run 5th inning have a 9-4 lead over San Diego. The Mets 4-0 over Cincinnati after 2. San Francisco now leading 5-3 over Pittsburgh after 7.
Craig Kusick leading off the Twins. Struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. A pitch on the way, and he checked his swing. On a low fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Larry Wolfe on deck, and then Bobby Randall due out. Guidry has permitted only 2 hits, walked 2, and fanned 7. The left-hander kicks and throws. Fastball down low, and it's ball 2. 2-0.
St. Louis and L.A. no score after 4. Montreal and Houston 0-0 after 2, and the Cubs 5-2 over Atlanta after 4.
Guidry's pitch on the way. Kusick takes a cut and wraps it just foul outside of third base. A hard smash foul. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. At the same time, Craig got hit on the left elbow by a pitch ball in Oakland. His wife, Sarah Beth, slipped on the steps at home, sprained her ankle. So it's been a kind of a rough week for the Kusicks as he takes the next pitch blown inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Larry Wolfe and Bobby Randall to follow. The Twins so far have not mustered any attack against Guidry as Kusick swings and fouls the next one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. They got 2 men on with 2 out in the 4th inning. On Morales single over first and then the walk to Kusick, but Guidry fanned Larry Wolfe. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Craig Kusick. They're playing him deep. About straight away. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's blown outside. Good eye by Kusick. He has his 2nd walk. And the 3rd one given up by Guidry today. So the Twins get the leadoff man on. And that, I believe, let's see. Will be for the Twins today. The first time they've had the leadoff batter on. Well, we really haven't had very many on to begin with. Wolfe got a 2-out single in the second inning. Then they got 2 men on in the fourth inning, and then with 2 out, and Borgmann walked with 2 out in the fifth. Wolfe now has punched a single to right, and he has struck out. Here's the set by Guidry. Chambliss not holding with Kusick. The pitch to Wolfe is a breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. 2-0. New York leading in the last of the seventh inning. Guidry 2-0 on the year and 2-1 lifetime last year, his first year, full year in the major leagues. He's had a few games in 76. Swing and a miss. Sinking fastball to Wolfe, and it's 2 strikes now to Larry. Bobby Randall waiting on deck. Guidry not only has the good velocity, but his ball moves, really dips. Here's the set, and the pitch on the way. Fastball down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thurman Munson behind the plate for New York. They have Nettles, Dent, and the rookie Brian Doyle at second. Chambliss at first. White, Rivers, and Jackson in the outfield. Reggie Jackson in right about straight away. Here's the set. Wolfe got his base hit to right field. Swung on a ground ball, hit towards the hole, and it's booted by Bucky Dent. The ball goes into left field, and the Twins have 2 on. Bucky Dent going 4 or 5 steps to his right, got to the ball, but he booted it, and it went into left field. Wolfe is on an arrow charge to Dent, and the Twins have 2 on and nobody out. Their best opportunity of the afternoon thus far. And Bobby Randall coming up here. Bobby has grounded to third and to second on a very fine play by the rookie Doyle in the fifth inning to throw him out. So now Kusick is on second. Wolfe is on first.
You don't think they'll have him sacrificing, do you?
Well, just about 98% worth.
Well, if he can lay a successful bunt down, the Twins would have the tying runners in scoring position with only 1 out here.
That was the first error of the ball game. Nettles and Chambliss at third and first, both looking for the bunt here from Bobby Randall. Guidry goes into the set position. Here's the left-hander's pitch around a bunt, and he taps that. It's foul behind the plate. 1 strike to Randall. Willie Norwood is on deck. Willie's the number 8 batter. Borgmann doing the catching today, batting 9th.
Well, let me tell you, as close as Chambliss was on that play, if Bobby could stick that bat out there and punch that ball to right field, he could run all day.
Yankees are going to get the bullpen going for the first time today, and they've got the big 2 out there, the right-hander, Rich Gossage, and the left-hander, Sparky Lyle. They haven't had to use them for quite a while because the Yankees had 2 open dates before they started this series. And, of course, they've had 2 complete games by Figueroa and yesterday by Tidrow. Here's the pitch. Randall around a bunt, takes it outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, there's only been 1 man coming in from the bullpen so far in this series, Max Garris, who relieved Thomas Guard in the first game. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Bobby Randall. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 2-0. Yankees leading. Twins with Kusick on second, Wolfe on first. Nobody out, and Graig Nettles wants to have a word with Ron Guidry. Graig's been playing in on the grass. This has Chambliss at first. And here's the ball bunted out in foul. That time the Yankees were going to try for a force play. They had Nettles charging in the shortstop, Dent covering third base. Chambliss retreating to first, and Guidry was to cover anything on the right side of the infield as Doyle, the second baseman, was going to cover second. But Bobby Randall fouled it off, so now Bobby's in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Guidry decides he'll take another baseball from plate umpire Jim Evans. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pete Rose needs 4 hits to reach that 3,000 mark in his career, and he might have an opportunity today because that's another free-scoring game in New York. 6-4 Mets after 4.5.
He's around the bunt again, takes the pitch up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wolfe diving back into first base. Kusick heading back to second. The Twins taking a calculated risk here with a 2-strike count. They still wanted Bobby Randall that time to try to bunt him over. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nettles still at the grass at third. Chambliss at first. Dent and Doyle up about a third of the way. Here's Guidry's pitch. Bobby swinging away. Bouncing ball into left field. A base hit. Kusick is being waved in. Twins have runners on first and second. It's now 2-1 Yankees as Randall singles to left.
Well, our player of the week comes up with another big hit. His 6th RBI of the year, and the first run of the ball game for the Twins. It's only the 3rd hit off Guidry this afternoon, and the walk in the air got him in trouble. Now the Twins have a chance for a big inning with runners on first and second, nobody out and a run in.
Well, Bobby Randall bounced that one through the left side with Nettles playing up to the grass and then about almost halfway up, and he bounced the ball right in the hole. The drive in, his 6th run of the year, and here's Willie Norwood up. With Wolfe on second, Randall on first. The Twins now down by only 2-1. Norwood around the bunt, bunts it down the first base line to Chambliss. Looks to third, throws back to first, throw to Doyle. Good sacrifice bunt. Wolfe goes to third. Randall a second as Norwood, who had struck out and sent a long fly ball to Rivers, sacrifices Chambliss, the first baseman, to the second baseman, Doyle, covering. 3-4 if you're scoring on the play on a sacrifice by Norwood. And Glenn Borgmann now will come up. The Twins have the tying run on third, the go-ahead run on second, and 1 out. Borgie today has hit a hard ground smash that was knocked down by Guidry in the 3rd inning. He threw Borgmann out, and Glenn got a base on balls in the 5th. The Yankees are going to play the infield in. They lead 2-1. The tying run, Wolfe at third base. Randall a go-ahead run at second. From the set, Guidry delivers. Borgmann takes it up high, ball 1. And here comes Billy Martin out to the mound. And while he goes to the mound, we'll pause 30 seconds. This is the play-by-play broadcast of the Minnesota Twins.
You know, we here at Peaster Derby spend an awful lot of time talking about how clean the stations are and how good the gas is, but we really don't talk enough about the guys who work at Peaster stations. I mean, they are really nice guys. They're the kind of guys who help old ladies across streets. That's the kind of guys they are. Like, have you ever noticed that Peaster stations are always located on streets? That's just so our guys can help old ladies across. Peaster. It's a gas.
Well, Billy Martin heading back to the third base dugout after conferring with Guidry and the catcher Thurman Munson. Guidry so far has thrown 100 pitches, 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. Has given up only 3 hits. Yankees will keep the infield up now. They'll try to cut down Larry Wolfe if he tries to score on a ground ball. He's the tying run. Here's the set. The pitch on the way, and it's up high. Ball 2, and no strikes to Borgmann. 2-0 now. Smalley, the Twins on deck batter. Glenn steps out to check with third base coach Carl Keel, who walks over now to say something to Larry Wolfe. Randall leading at second. The outfield is about straight away. Rivers just a step or 2 into left center. Guidry, the left-hander from the set, delivers, and Borgmann takes it a strike on the low outside corner. He started to swing. He did not. But Evans, the plate umpire, ruled it was in there. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Borgmann. Yankees leading 2-1 in the last half of the 7th inning. Twins have had only 1 runner as far as second base off Guidry up until this inning. Now 2-1, and Guidry, who has been working out of his set position with men on second and third, delivers to Borgmann. Way outside and high. 3-1 now. So Guidry battling his control a little bit. He led off the inning by walking Craig Kusick. He's walked Craig twice today. Now behind Borgmann, 3 balls and 1 strike. Wolfe leading at third, Randall at second. There's 1 out. Munson hangs a sign out. Here's the set by Guidry. Left-hander's pitch on the way, and it's a ball low and outside. He walked Borgmann to load him up. And this is going to be all for Guidry. Billy Martin coming out of the third base dugout. Switch hitter Roy Smalley, followed by Rod Carew, will be the next 2 batters for the Twins, who trail here 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Guidry relieved after pitching a very fine 6 1/3 innings for New York. We have a pitching change. And while there is a break in the action, let's listen to this.
Families have relied on the door with the sign of AGI.
The retailers of Associated Grocers of Iowa are out to win you over. They're a group of local independent businessmen whose only visible common denominator is the red and white AGI emblem on the door. Their stores are diverse in name, size, shape, and appearance. But whether a large supermarket or small grocery store, your AGI food store owner is big on the things that count, like service, selection, savings. He has to be, because to him it's not just a job, it's his business. And for you, that makes a lot of difference.
On the value and quality that go with the sign.
the goose. Rich Gossage, acquired in the re-entry draft from the Pittsburgh Pirates, has relieved Ron Guidry here in the seventh inning with 1 out. Guidry goes 6 1/3. So far has given up 1 run. He's responsible for all 3 Twins runners on base. Allowed only 3 hits. Struck out 7, walked 4. He did not stand a batter after the 4th inning. He had 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. Gossage is 0-3. This is his 7th appearance. He has a 2.93 ERA. In 15 1/3 innings, he's given up 14 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned. Struck out 15, walked only 3, but he has given up 3 home run balls. In fact, he gave up a home run in each of his first 3 appearances, and then had a touch of wildness that lost him his 3rd decision. He really can throw it. 2-1 the score here, as the Twins finally mount a rally in the 7th off of the Yankees and Ron Guidry. The bases are loaded with only 1 out, and Roy Smalley, the leadoff man, will be the first man to face Rich Gossage. Well, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is where you hear the Twins during the 1978 Major League season.
This is WHO Radio, Des Moines, Iowa. It's 3:01.
The bases loaded and 1 out in the last half of the 7th inning. The Twins trailing 2-1. Wolfe on 3rd, Randall on 2nd, Borgmann on 1st, and Rich Gossage. 6'3", about 200 pounds. The first came up for the White Sox, swings into the windup. Here's the pitch. A fastball swung on, a line drive to left field. Charged by White. He makes the catch. There's Larry Wolfe tagging up. The throw to the plate. Not in time. It's a tie ball game. The runners are at first and second. Sacrifice fly by Roy Smalley to tie it up. Roy's 14th RBI of the season. The field play apparently is going to come up at third base. It was more of a line drive than a fly ball hit out there. It was a hard hit ball, but right at Roy White. Field is not allowed. The run stands. The Twins are tied it up here in the 7th. 2-2. And now Rod Carew coming up. The first 2 times today, Rod tried to bunt for base hits with a count 2 strikes. He went out, pitch of the first in the first inning, popped the ball up to Guidry in the 4th, and then grounded to short in the 6th inning. So now Randall's on 2nd. Borgmann is on 1st with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Swing at a bouncing ball, hit to the right side. Doyle to his left, gloves it, flips to Chambliss, and the inning is over. 4-3 the play, but the Twins tie it up with 2 runs on 1 hit. 1 big Yankee error, making both the runs against Guidry unearned. A couple of bases on balls, and the Twins leave 2. But at the end of 7 now, it's New York 2 and Minnesota 2.
The retailers at Associated Grocers of Iowa want your business. Now, that's no small request, because across this state there are many fine food stores to choose from. But here's our story. Your AGI grocer is an independent businessman. He lives in your community, concerned about the same things you are: taxes, the streets, the schools. So what does all of this mean to you? Well, it means he's made a decision to be a part of your city or town. An investment that demands he make every effort to keep you as a customer, to provide you with better reasons to shop with him. He can't ask for a transfer, so he has to do it all, with selection, low prices, and all the person-to-person service he can muster, today and every day.
Got a brand new ball game here as we enter the 8th inning. It's a 2-2 tie. The Yankees 2-5-1. The Twins 2 runs on just 3 hits, no errors. And the number 9 hitter, rookie Brian Doyle, will lead off the 8th inning against right-hander Roger Erickson. Then he'll be followed by Mickey Rivers and Roy White. White appeared to double pump that throw coming in from left field that enabled the tying run to score.
Little Brian Doyle takes a swing and he misses. He wears number 25 with the Yankees. They just brought him up to replace infielder Mickey Klutz, who suffered a broken thumb. Doyle had been at Tacoma, which is the Yankee farm club this year. It had been the Twins farm club. Here's a fly ball hit into left field. Kusick under it out there in left, and Big Craig reaches up to make the catch, and there's 1 gone in the Yankee 8th inning. Max Scarce and Tommy Johnson begin to heat up in the Twins bullpen. Roger Erickson, who gave up 2 runs in the first inning, has permitted only 2 hits since then. And here's Mickey Rivers coming up. He struck Rivers out twice in the first and in the third and flied to left in the 5th inning. So Rivers 0 for 3. Mickey has a 5-game hitting streak for New York. Swings, pops it high in the air off to the left. Let's see if it's playable. Larry Wolfe digging over by the Yankee dugout. Know if it's going to be in the box seats. Just this side of the Yankee dugout, 5 or 6 rows back in there, and it's 1 strike to Mickey Rivers with Roy White due up next. Roger Erickson, he was given chase too, and he ran from beneath his cap right at the foul line. No balls and 1 strike to Mickey Rivers. Really up in the front part of the batter's box, bent way over at the waist. Erickson's pitch on the way. Fastball at him swinging. No balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Max Scarce, right-hander Tom Johnson throwing down in the right field bullpen for the Twins. 1 out here. Nobody on. 2 strikes to Rivers, a 2-2 ball game in the 8th. It's been a dandy ball game. In fact, this whole series has been really an interesting series. Here's a line drive to left center. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Ford plays it on the bounce. Rivers takes his big turn, puts on the brakes. And Rivers now is hitting 6 in a row as he lines a solid single into left center field. Only the 3rd Yankee hit since the 1st inning. And Roy White, the left fielder, he doubled in the 1st inning and scored the 1st Yankee run. Popped the 3rd in the 3rd and flied to left in the 5th inning. Roy, a switch hitter, of course, left-handed against Erickson. Rod Carew holding with Mickey Rivers. Time called by plate umpire Evans. Roy White was not all set there in the batter's box. Rivers edging off first base. Wolfe even with the bag at 3rd. Smalley over towards 2nd in about a 1/3 of the way. Randall up about a 1/3 of the way. Here's the set. Erickson's pitch on the way, and it's off the outside corner to White. Ball 1. Thurman Munson on deck. Beautiful afternoon here in the Twin Cities area, and the rubber game of this series. The Twins trying to win their 1st series from New York since they took a season series from the Yankees back in 1971. The Yankees had won 6 in a row until yesterday's victory by the Twins. The pitch in the dirt. Nice pickup by Glenn Borgmann. Nice defensive work by Glenn, digging that ball out of the dirt to keep Rivers at first base. That ball gets just a few feet away. You know Rivers is gone. 2 balls and no strikes. Erickson looking down to take the sign now with 1 out. Tall right-hander tosses over to first base, and Rivers steps back on the bag. So far this year, Mickey's only tried 1 steal and was nabbed. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the set by Erickson. Another toss over there, not giving him the good move. Yankees 2 runs in the 1st inning, and the Twins tying it with 2 in the 7th. And again, they will be unearned against the record of Ron Guidry because of Dent's error. Here's the pitch. Rivers running. Ground ball hit down to Carew. He'll have to go to first base. And he takes White unassisted. But Rivers, who was breaking with a pitch, makes it to second base. So there are 2 down now with a runner at 2nd and Thurman Munson. He's rated by many as one of the real tough clutch hitters in the game. Today, he hit the ball sharply against Erickson. To Larry Wolfe at 3rd base, and then lined out to Kusick and left in the 3rd, and then hit another liner cut by Ford in center field in the 6th inning. Borgmann walks out in front of the plate, and they're going to examine the baseball. Borgie flips it to Jim Evans, the plate umpire. Brian Doyle, the rookie 2nd baseman, in there for the Yankees today. I don't know whether Joe has mentioned it earlier, but Willie Randolph, the regular 2nd baseman, jammed his thumb here in the 1st game of the series and then aggravated it yesterday. So that's why Brian Doyle is in there at 2nd base. Here's the set now by Erickson. The pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. A hard hit ball. Deep center field. Ford back. He's there. He has it. Out near the track in center. Another hard hit ball by Munson. Straight away center field. But Danny Ford got a good jump. Went back and hauled it in to return the side. In the 8th inning for New York. No runs. 1 hit. No Twins errors. 1 Yankee left. We go to the last of the 8th here at the Met. It's the Yankees 2 and the Twins 2.
These days, everyone is trying to save money. And if your car's running rough because it needs a tune-up, here's one way to help stop wasting gas and start saving money. Get the parts for that tune-up from Chuck's Auto Supply, 606 North Jefferson in Indianola. Because at Chuck's Auto Supply, You won't get just any tune-up parts. You'll get AC spark plugs and Delco Remy ignition parts. They're quality tune-up parts, engineered for performance. A tune-up with the right AC firing spark plugs and matching Delco Remy points and condenser will have your car back in the running in no time. Instead of wasting gasoline, you could start saving it. And that will save you money. And the folks at Chuck's Auto Supply knows that in times like these, we can all use a few extra savings. Tune up today and use quality AC Delco tune-up parts from Chuck's Auto Supply, 606 North Jefferson in Indianola.
Well, a final score in the NBA in the first of the best-of-7 Eastern Division Finals. The Washington Bullets upset the Philadelphia 76ers at the Spectrum today in overtime, 122-117. So the Bullets take a 1-0 lead in that best-of-7 series. The winner, of course, to move in against the winner of the West for the NBA championship. Here we got quite a baseball game on hand. It's a 2-2 tie as the Twins get set to face Rich Gossage in relief of Ron Guidry here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees have 6 hits. The Twins have 3. The Yankees have committed the game's only error, enabling the Twins to score the 2 tying runs in the 7th inning. And for the Twins in the 8th, it'll be Danny Ford, Jose Morales, and Craig Kusick to bat against the right-hander. Gene Mox may or may not decide to go to the bench and get a couple of left-handed swingers in there.
Danny Ford against Guidry had struck out twice and then hit a ground ball that Chambliss made a good play on with Guidry covering in the 6th inning. So Danny 0 for 3 in the ball game. Big Rich Gossage delivers. The slider had him swinging. 0-1. What's a wicked pitch thrown by a guy like Gossage to a right-handed batter. 0-1 the count. Rivers is in right center for Ford. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2, indicating that with a guy like Gossage as hard as he throws, it's going to be tough to pull the ball on him. Dent's 2 or 3 steps towards second base in the infield. The pitch by Gossage. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Morales and Craig Kusick to follow. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th. Max Scarce, the left-hander, continues to throw in the Twins bullpen. Gossage's pitch is strike 3, called on the low outside corner. Ford took it for strike 3. 1 gone. And Morales is being called back for Rich Childs to come out and... No, it's going to be Adams. Glenn Adams is going to bat for Morales. Morales had struck out. Single over first, grounded to short, and Glenn Adams is going to bat now for Jose, who leaves the game 1 for 3. And Munson goes out to check the signals on how they're... make sure they know how they're going to pitch here to Glenn Adams, who's hitting just 164 this year. He was in that terrible slump. He's come out of it now. He has 10 hits on the year, 2 doubles. And he's knocked in 4 runs. 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. I'd like to welcome the folks from Rube's Bar in Austin, Minnesota, and the St. John's Senior Luther League from Belle Plaine, Minnesota. Also Twins fans here from St. Cloud, Minnesota. 1 down, nobody on in the last of the 8th inning. Left-handed batting Glenn Adams up here for Jose Morales. Right-hander Rich Gossage. Into the windup, here's the pitch. Fastball is hit foul. Boy, Glenn just didn't get the bat around on that one. I'm sure he felt that one, too. Ground ball outside of third. 1 strike to Adams. Fastball is outside. 1-1. Here's a fastball, bounce to the right side. It goes through into right, a base hit. Brian Doyle, the second baseman, diving for it, couldn't get it. As Adams bounces a single into right field to put the go-ahead run on for the Twins with 1 out in the last of the 8th inning. That is just the Twins' 4th hit of the ball game, and Kusick is going to bat against the right-hander. Craig is struck out in the 2nd against Guidry and then walked in the 4th and again in the 7th. And he has acquitted himself very well in left field today. He played there a couple of times in the spring, in the preseason games. Now the set by Gossage, the pitch on the way. The slider strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count to Craig Kusick. 2-2 ball game. Last of the 8th inning. Chambliss holding with Adams. And the pitch by Gossage. Fastball off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Larry Wolfe is due up next.
This would be a great time for Hughes to hit number 1 this year.
Here's the set, the pitch on the way, and a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he took it for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Gossage is wearing number 54. Remember one time, boy, he and Terry Forster, the left-hander, were both with the White Sox. What a bullpen that gave Chicago. Then Forster had some physical problems, and Terry's now with the Dodgers. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Forster and Gossage both had very little minor league experience. Now the set by the big right-hander. A look over to first. Here's the pitch, and Kusick takes a half swing. It is no swing. Jim Evans asking for help from Dearwood Merrill, the first base umpire, and he said, nope, he didn't swing. It's 3-2 now to Kusick. With 1 out, Adams on first base. We're in the last of the 8th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Here's the set by Gossage. The pitch on the way, an inside fastball, and it's strike 3 called, and now Kusick is unhappy. Kusick thought it should have been ball 4, but he's called out by Jim Evans, the second strikeout for Gossage. Kusick is really upset, flings the helmet away. Uh-oh, he almost got to the dugout. Now he's coming back after Jim Evans. Now decides maybe I better not go any further. So Kusick is called out, and Mike Cubbage now has come out for the Twins. The bat for Larry Wolfe. Larry had singled, struck out, and reached on Dent's error against the left-hander Guidry. Now here comes Gene Knockout. Apparently he thought that Evans had a little too much to say to his player, Craig Kusick. And Gene just had a few quick words there and heads back to the dugout. And Mike Cubbage will be up here with 2 out. Adams on first base. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning at the Met. What a ball game. It's all tied up at 2-2. Cubbage hitting .303 with a homer on the year and 7 runs batted in. Larry Wolfe now out of the game. 1 for 3 for Wolfe today, who scored the tying run on the sacrifice fly in the 7th by Roy Smalley. Two down, a runner on first. Bob Casey making the announcement. Mike Cubbage, number 26, batting for Larry Wolfe. Adams on first base and 2 out, last of the 8th inning. A 2-2 ball game. Right-hander Rich Gossage, who throws a lot of smoke at you, takes a sign from Munson. Here's the right-hander's pitch, and it's swung on by Cubbage, and he fouled it back upstairs. 1 strike to count. Gossage will be 27 on the 5th of July. Signed by the Yankees last November. Pittsburgh last year had an ERA of 1.6. 26 saves, plus 11 victories. He was charged with 9 losses. One strike to Cubbage. Gossage's highlight performance last year against the Dodgers. He pitched to 11 Dodgers in 1 game and struck 8 of them out. Cubbage going over to the bat rack, coming back now. 1 strike to count with Glenn Adams on first. And 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'd like to welcome the Lexington Restaurant Group here from St. Paul. Here's a bounding ball hit through the box in the center, a base hit. Gossage flung the glove down but couldn't get it. Rivers fields it, throws it into the shortstop Dent, and the 2 pinch hitters have delivered this inning. Adams and now Cubbage, who smacked one sharply up the middle for a clean base hit to send Adams over to second base. And the Twins have runners on first and second. Bobby Randall is coming up now with men on first and second. Bobby delivered a base hit in the 7th inning. With men on first and second, he had tried to bunt him over, but fouled a couple of pitches off, and then bounced one into left field for a single to score the Twins' first run.
With 2 pinch hits today, the Twins are 11 for 31 on the year, and that's up around .355. It's a composite batting average for the pinch hitters this year.
Excellent job. Here's a high hanging breaking pitch inside to Randall. 1 ball and no strikes to Bobby Randall. 2-2 in the bottom of the eighth. The Twins have the go-ahead run on second. Glenn Adams and Mike Cubbage over on first. The pitch is swung on, deflected off the glove of Gossage, picked up by Doyle, flips it to Dent, and they force out Cubbage. Score that one 1-4-3. 1-4-6 rather, as it deflected off Gossage's glove after the second baseman Doyle, and he flipped it to Dent, the shortstop. 1-4-6 put out, forcing Cubbage to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Well, 8 innings complete here at the Met. New York 2 and the Twins 2.
Driving down a four-lane highway, cars and trucks are passing by me. This is where I like to be, punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB. Got a chance to say hello to folks I never ever spoke to, faces I just used to see. Now I'm talking to them loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
Talking's easy when you're punching through on a 40-channel Cobra. Every one of those Cobra CBs covers the distance and gets you through loud and clear. So if you're thinking of getting into CBs, get out there loud and clear with a Cobra.
This is where I like to be, punching through loud and clear on my Cobra CB.
Visit the Coast to Coast store in Carroll or in Maxwell, Huggins Two-Way.
Well, with left-handed batters coming up for the Yankees tonight, manager Gene Mauch is going to lift Roger Erickson and bring in lefty Max Karras, who did a great job in relief here in the first game of the series. So we have a pitching change. And while there is a break in the action, let's listen to this.
If your spark plugs are worn or misfiring, the right tune-up at the right price could help improve your car's fuel economy. And since this is AC Delco tune-up days at Brightwell Oil Company's 2 Des Moines locations, this is the right time to do it. Brightwells will start with a 35-point check of your engine's operation on their AC Delco Diagnostic Tune-Up Center. With that advanced equipment and the know-how they have at Brightwells, you'll get a thorough checkup. Then for your tune-up, Brightwells uses AC Delco quality parts. That means a set of AC fire ring spark plugs matched with the right Delco Remy ignition parts. AC Delco tune-up parts can help restore your car's mileage and help restore lost pep and power, too. So for a lot of good reasons, make it a point to drive into Brightwell Oil Company for a quality engine diagnosis and AC Delco tune-up right now. See the guys at Brightwell's downtown Des Moines store at 919 Keogh Way and also at 42nd and University in Des Moines.
Two balls and no strikes to Reggie Jackson, who swings mightily and fouls the next one. It's 2-1. The first 2 pitches from Max Karras were low. Jackson singled to center in the first, called that on strikes in the fourth, single to right in the sixth.
Erickson went 8 complete, allowed 2 runs, both earned, 6 hits, struck out 6 and walked 1. Max Karras now making his second appearance in this series, did a fine job in relief at Thurman's guard Friday night.
Changes up and has Jackson swinging. Good changeup that time by Karras, and it's 2-2 now to Reggie, who's hit in 6 games in a row.
This is Max's 4th appearance of the year. He has a 1.59 ERA. In 5 2/3, he's given up only 3 hits and 1 run. He has struck out 3 and walked 2. And as I mentioned, his finest performance was here Friday night.
Pitch to Jackson, a little squibber out in front of the plate, picked up by Karras. Here's the throw. It's low and way down the right field line. Willie Norwood chasing it out towards the bullpen, and Jackson will go to second. That's a shame. Boy. Now, Gene Mauch is coming out to argue some point here. There's a little squibber. Hit about halfway out to the mound. Karras fielded the ball, turned around, and threw it way past Rod Carew down the right field line.
They're giving him an infield hit on that.
And, of course, an error on the throw by Karras. And apparently, I don't know what Gene maybe claiming that Jackson ran inside the foul line going down to first base. As you know, they have that 3-foot area that a lot of times the batter will run outside of it. They don't usually say anything unless it interferes with the play. But you're taking some kind of a chance on a throw to first base if you go inside or outside of that 3-foot line. I'm not sure if that's what Gene is arguing about, but Scarce's throw was low as Rod reached out for it and it went in the dirt and way down towards the Twins bullpen where Tommy Johnson is warming up. And the official scorer rules it an infield hit for Jackson. That'll give him his third hit of the game, and Scarce is charged with an error.
Well, that gives you an idea how quick Reggie Jackson is for a big man. He was really flying down that line, and had Scarce's throw been right on the money, it would have been one of those bang-bang plays, and that's why they gave him the infield hit. Now, Gene Mock is going to have a meeting of the minds out on the mound with his third baseman, Mike Cubbage, and the catcher, Glenn Borgmann, and the pitcher, Max Scarce. See what they're going to try to do now to prevent the Yankees from scoring the tie-breaking run here in the ninth inning. But Jackson's in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the ninth and a 2-2 tie.
Chris Chambliss, a tough hitter up there, tough man to fool. He singled to left in the first inning to knock in a run. Then he singled to right in the fourth inning. And then lined into a double play, unassisted by Roy Smalley in the sixth when Jackson got caught too far off second. So Chambliss, the left-handed batter, has hit the ball 3 times to 3 different fields today. And Scarce's hook is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, it's really frustrating when you make a good pitch like Scarce did on a good hitter like Jackson. Hit one about 35 feet and then have him end up on second base. Here's a line drive out into right center field. That's going to sink in there. Willie Norwood will have to play it on the bounce. Jackson is going to come home, and the Yankees lead 3-2. Holding at first base is Chambliss, who delivers again. This time he hit the ball into right center field. His third hit of the afternoon, his 10th RBI of the year, and the Yankees take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the ninth as Jackson scored easily. Willie Norwood had to play the ball on the bounce out in deep right center, and Graig Nettles coming up. Nettles has struck out, walked, and hit back to the pitcher. Graig 0 for 2. 3-2 now, the Yankees leading. Chambliss on first, Carew holding with him. Mike Cubbage, who stayed in the game after batting for Larry Wolfe. Cubbage playing up to the grass. The pitch to Nettles. He swings away and lifts one high in the air out into shallow left center field. Backpedaling Smalley, still backpedaling, and makes the catch out in shallow left center. Put out for the shortstop, and there's 1 Yankee down here in the ninth inning. Left-hander Max Scarce. On the mound, it looks like they're going to bring up Cliff Johnson to bat for Spencer. Spencer, the left-handed designated hitter, will leave the game. He popped the short and struck out twice against Roger Erickson. Number 41, Cliff Johnson, batting for Spencer. Johnson batting just 163. 7 hits on the year. 1 double and 1 home run. And Gene Mock now may bring in Tommy Johnson, and he is. He's already given a signal. So Scarce was in there for just the third of an inning. 3-2, the Yankees lead. Scarce will leave, and Tommy Johnson will be summoned in with the right-handed Cliff Johnson up, and he's due to be followed by another right-hander, Bucky Dent. So it's kind of a tough outing for Max Scarce on that little nubber by Reggie Jackson that Max threw away and allowed him to go to second, scoring on a single by Chris Chambliss. Well, we hope you can be with us Wednesday. Remember, we'll be on the air at 6:25 Central Daylight Time Wednesday from Fenway Park in Boston with Gary Serum, who pitched a great game against Oakland, getting his second Major League start against the veteran Louis Tiant Wednesday night.
Well, right-hander Tommy Johnson comes in. This will be his 7th appearance of the year. He has a 3.26 ERA. Not bad when you look at his one-loss record. He is 1-4. He lost successive nights out at Oakland. As a matter of fact, the A's have beaten Tommy and the Twins 3 straight decisions this year. In 19 1/3 innings, Johnson has allowed 23 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. He has struck out 15 and walked 7. He's given up 2 home run balls. But Oakland has been his real nemesis this year. Has the team's only save. That came out at Seattle. Also has a victory over the Mariners. And he has suffered 3 losses to the A's, and he lost in that 11-inning 1-0 decision out at California when Joe Rudy hit a home run off of him in a good outing that day. He pitched 5 strong innings in that ball game. So the Twins now have to hope to shut off the Yankees before they can add an insurance run. They lead it 3-2 as they scored with 2 leadoff hits and a throwing error by reliever Max Scarce here in the top of the ninth. A couple of finals in the National League. The Phillies 11-4 over San Diego. Lurch the winner, Jones the loser. Grand slam for Johnson in that ball game for the Phillies. Gamble homered for San Diego. Padres committed 3 errors. And also in the National League, the Giants beat the Pirates 7-3. Blyleven the loser, Knepper the winner. Mark Hill homered for the Giants, and Guillen homered for the Pirates.
Big Cliff Johnson, right-handed batter, up here for Jim Spencer, and the slider by Tommy Johnson low and outside. Ball 1. Chambliss on first. 1 out, the Yankees ahead 3-2. Jackson and Chambliss, each with 3 hits today. Here's the... Whoop, look out. Johnson wasn't even... Cliff Johnson, the batter, wasn't looking, and Tommy Johnson was concentrating so on the pitch that he let the pitch go, and I know he took something off it finally when he let it go, and it came in and it hit Cliff Johnson on the left side, but time had been called. Gene Michael, the first base coach, running up, claiming that Johnson should be allowed to take first base, but Jim Evans, the plate umpire, had called time before the pitch, and Cliff Johnson, that is, was just standing there. Tommy didn't really throw the ball hard. He saw that time had been called, but he couldn't hold onto the ball.
Well, we've had a little bit of everything today.
One ball and no strikes now to Cliff Johnson. Here's Tommy's pitch to him. Slider, good pitch on the outside corner. And it's 1-1. 1 ball to 1 strike. Cliff Johnson, 6'4", about 220. Had been with the Houston Astros since first coming up with him about 6 years ago. Here's the pitch. And a check swing and a foul. Didn't mean to hit it, but fouled it down and back. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnson, a number 5 draft pick 12 years ago. Did an excellent job with the Yankees after playing the first half at Houston. Ended up with 22 home runs last year, 12 hit as a Yankee. Here's a pitch to him. Swung on, hit it off the handle, and pops it up to the left. Cubbage running up towards the plate. Foul ball. Catch is made by Cubby about 2/3 of the way up to the plate and about 10 to 12 feet in foul ground. So Cliff Johnson, batting for Spencer, fouls out the Cubbage 2 down, and Bucky Dent, the shortstop, will be up. He's hit a long foul caught by Kusick in the left field corner in the second. Hit into a force out. Third baseman Larry Wolfe unassisted in the 4th, and then grounded to short in the 7th. 2 down now with the runner at first base, Chris Chambliss. And the pitch on the way by Tommy Johnson, foul down and back. 1 strike to Bucky Dent. 2 down now with the runner at first base, Chris Chambliss. And the pitch on the way by Tommy Johnson, foul down and back. 1 strike to Bucky Dent. Reggie Jackson, 3 for 4, has scored a couple of runs today and knocked in 1, and Chambliss, 3 for 4, has knocked in 2 runs. Roy White scored the first run on a single in the first inning by Reggie Jackson. Rod Carew holding with the runner. Here's the pitch, and Dent takes it high for a ball. So the count is even at 1-1 to Bucky Dent. New York with a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 9th, 2 down. The Twins will have Norwood, Borgmann, and Smalley as the scheduled batters against Gossage in the bottom of the 9th. There's a hanging slider high and inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 now to Bucky Dent. Rod Carew holding with Chambliss. Randall 5 or 6 steps over towards second base. Johnson's pitch. High and inside, 3-1. Let's pause 10 seconds. For station identification, this is where you hear the Minnesota Twins during the 1978 Major League season.
WHO Radio, Des Moines.
Tommy Johnson falling behind Bucky Dent. 3 balls and 1 strike. A throw to first base, and Chambliss back in time. Chambliss, the runner at first base, 2 out. Doesn't get much of a lead. He's not running. The pitch is swung on, and a high pop-up off third base again. Chasing it over towards the stands is Cubbage. He'll have a play, and he makes the catch. Dent fouls to Mike Cubbage to retire the side. So for the Yankees, they pick up a run on 2 hits, an error on a throw by Max Scherz, and the Yankees leave 1 on. So we go to the last half of inning number 9. It's the Yankees 3, the Twins 2.
The
shopping for grocery specials? You should. They can save you a lot of money. But consider, too, things like everyday shelf prices and old-fashioned personalized service. That's why more and more people are shopping at the red and white emblem of AGI. He's the local independent retailer who has a big stake in your community. He can't put in for a transfer, but he likes it that way because it's his business, and for you that makes a lot of difference.
Well, the paid attendance today, 13,852, 13,852, and that puts the Twins' attendance on the year to just under 90,000 for 10 home dates. The Yankees, 3 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. The Twins, 2-5-1. Gossage on the mound looking for his first victory of the year in the rubber game of this 3-game series. Tough break for Max Scares, who had handcuffed Reggie Jackson, the first batter he faced in the 9th inning, and Jackson hit one a spinner right off the fifth. A tough play, and of course with Jackson's great speed, Scares had to rush his throw at first, and that put the winning run on second, and they eventually scored.
Yes, sir. Twins will try to bounce back here. Rich Childs is going up to bat for Willie Norwood with the right-hander Gossage out there. Willie Norwood had struck out and hit a long fly, a 400-foot drive that was caught by Rivers in center field in the 5th inning, and then he had a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. So Rich Childs, number 12 up there, takes the fastball in for a strike. Rich is 8 for 24 on the year. 7 singles, 1 double. He's knocked in 5 runs, hitting .333. Gossage back with the next pitch, outside to the left-handed batter, and it's 1-1. Well, so far, the first 2 pinch hitters, Glenn Adams and Mike Covich, have delivered singles. Here's the pitch to Rich Childs, and he didn't mean to hit that one. Boy, he hated that. He couldn't get the bat out of the way. Got the bat up there and a pitch out of the strike zone, but it cost him at the foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Scares pitched 1/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned.
Gossage ahead of Childs, 1 and 2. Smalley on deck, and then Carew due up. Here's the big right-hander lining. The pitch to Childs. Swung on line drive at Bucky Dent. For the out. Well, not much you can do about that. A line shot, but he hit it right to Bucky Dent. Here's Butch Weinecker is going to come up to bat now for Borgmann, who had bounced to the pitcher and walked twice. So Borgie out of the game officially 0 for 1. Did a good job behind the plate today.
Ball to Twins. Back to Borgmann.
Weinecker. Butch, of course, a switch hitter, and he'll be up there left-handed against Gossage. Weinecker on the year hitting .234, left-handed .217. Takes a strike, a fastball in there, and it's 0-1. Butch has knocked in 3 runs, has 1 home run. Twins down by 1 here in the 9th. The pitch swung on, hit off the handle, and fouled back. 0-2. That was a pretty good pitch on him by Gossage. So the big right-hander, Rich Gossage, ahead of Weinecker now. No balls and 2 strikes, as we have 1 out and nobody on. And the 2-strike delivery. Fastball up high, 1 and 2. Roy Smalley on deck. Yankees scored 2 in the 1st. Twins came back with 2 in the 7th. They were unearned because of a Yankee error. And then an unearned Yankee run in the 9th has put them in the lead. Gossage delivers. Fastball, foul back again by Butch, and it's still 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'd like to welcome Elks Lodge 327 from Winona, Minnesota. The Burroughs Corporation from Waterloo, Iowa, here with the group today. And the Mustangs Club of Minneapolis. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Weinecker hits a little ground ball out to short. Up with a dent to Chambliss, and Weinicker's out. Short the first to play, and there were 2 gone.
Midwest Federal and WCCO Radio have purchased the broadcast rights of Twins baseball games for the pleasure and convenience of the listening audience. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction is permitted without the express authority of the Minnesota Twins, WCCO, or Midwest Federal.
Well, the Twins just have 1 out left now, trailing 3-2, and Roy Smalley has struck out, popped to second, lined to left, and hit a sacrifice fly to left in the 7th inning. Batting left-handed against Rich Gossage. The pitch on the way, inside and low for the ball, 1-0. Twins will start a road trip in Boston on Wednesday. Boston, Baltimore, New York, and Chicago. Returning here Friday night, May the 12th, a night game with the Red Sox, May the 12th. There's a strike to Smalley on the inside corner. 1-1 now. 1 ball to 1 strike. Twins will have 5 games on their next stand. 3 with the Red Sox, starting Friday night, May the 12th, and then a couple with Baltimore. Here's a line drive, and that's hit right at second baseman Brian Doyle. Smalley lines to second, and the Twins go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3 up and 3 down, so the Yankees win the rubber game of this series. And it was really a tough ball game. In fact, a tough series all the way through. In each game, the winning club scored only 3 runs. Today, the Yankees with 3 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and 5 left. And for the Twins, 2 runs on just 5 hits, 1 error, and the Twins stranded 8. So the Yankees win the series 2-1. Ron Guidry went 6 in the 3rd innings today, but Gossage will get the win. He pitched the last 2 2/3. That's Gossage's first win of this season. He's now 1-3. And for the Twins, it was Roger Erickson who gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning and then blanked the Yankees for the next 7. However, in the 9th inning, with 3 left-handed batters coming up and possibly a 4th if anyone got on, manager Gene Mock went to lefty Max Scarce. Jackson hit that little squibber halfway to the mound, and Scarce threw the ball way down the right field line. Jackson went to second, scored on Chambliss single, and that was a ball game right there. So the loss will be charged to Max Scarce, his first decision for the Twins. Erickson pitched beautiful ball for 8 innings, and then Tommy Johnson came on to work the last 2/3 of an inning. Paid attendance today was 13,852, and the time of the game was 2 hours and 18 minutes. Now the Twins have a couple of open dates coming up on the schedule, traveling to Boston on Tuesday and then opening up the series with the Red Sox there on Wednesday night with Louis Tiant, the veteran who had a dislocated finger earlier this year, pitching for Boston, and Gary Thurman, who pitched a beautiful game to beat Oakland, the final game of the series out there last Thursday on the Hill Wednesday night for the Twins. And their airtime, remember, will be 6:25 Central Daylight Time on Wednesday. Our producer has been Jack Douglas, Don Haber. Our engineer, and now speaking for Joe McConnell, this is Herb Carneal, hoping you can join us for the broadcast on Wednesday evening at 6:25 when the Twins are in Boston. The final score today here at the Met, the Yankees 3 and the Twins 2.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Sparkles by AC.
Want to give your gas mileage a lift? Then see your AC Delco dealer. If you need a tune-up, AC fire ring spark plugs and Delco Remy ignition parts are the way to go. They can help your gasoline mileage, and they can also help restore performance, including that all-important passing power. Your AC Delco dealer has the AC fire ring spark plugs and Delco Remy ignition parts that are right for your car. So go see them. You'll be thankful you did.
When you want to go, where the neighbors know, you can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Sparkles by AC.
Available at Porter Auto Parts and Service, 504 1st Avenue South, Altoona. Spark plugs for most cars, trucks, and farm equipment in stock.
Well, while the action has stopped on the old baseball diamond, we've got a little time to tell you that Northwestern Bell has a special message for you regarding 800 numbers. They're the watch numbers you've seen advertised and probably have used time and again. But did you ever think of using a watch line for your own business? It could be a powerful profit builder. Imagine, every time your watch line rang, there'd be an interested customer or prospect on the phone, ready to talk business. Or what if you had a watch for outgoing calls? You'd enjoy reduced rate, direct dial service with your choice of a plan that would let you make as many calls as you need to those areas where you do your business. Are you interested in using watch to ring up new business? Well, then all you have to do is phone your Northwestern Bell business office and talk to one of their account executives. Get the ins and outs regarding watch lines.